You know, I actually had a bank fail, and I had more than 250 in there, and I didn't get covered.
You didn't?
Wasn't it? Wow.
Why not?
Why? Because I only had FDIC.
So you had 100, right?
No, I got the whole 250.
Oh, you did?
Oh, whatever was above that you lost.
$3 million in the fucking account. And it was during all my financial trouble.
So you lost 2 3/4?
Literally.
Wow.
Yeah, but you
would have lost it
ABC
anyhow.
News. The Justice Department's top national security official is reportedly stepping down. The Associated Press says John Dummers will resign amid questions about the Justice Department under President Trump demanding cell phone data on top House Democrats and even the former White House counsel. The Girl Scouts have a problem: 15 million unsold boxes of cookies. The organization blaming the pandemic for biting into their spring selling season. And a story of a modern-day Jonah off Cape Cod. Lobster diver Michael Packard says when he was in the water near Provincetown, he suddenly found himself in a whale's mouth for 30 seconds before it spit him out. ABC's Mona Kosar Abdi.
This isn't Packard's first brush with death. In 2001, he was reportedly in a plane crash that killed 3 people. According to the Associated Press, that crash stranded Packard and the other surviving passengers in the Costa Rican jungle.
Rena Roy, ABC News.
I'm CBS News business analyst Jill Schlesinger with a quick tip from H2O Wireless on stretching your budget and saving money every month. Start with your recurring monthly bills, and here's the easiest one, your cell phone bill. Verizon, AT&T, and T-Mobile charge premium rates for unlimited data, when in all actuality, you have no need for that much data. H2O Wireless, on the other hand, is on the exact same network as one of those carriers, but charges you half. The average family of 4 is saving over $70 a month without having to sacrifice coverage. And listen to this: unlimited talk, text, and 15 gigs of data for just $36 per month. Switching is as easy as swapping out your SIM card. You can keep your phone and your phone number. Here's how to get the best deal. This month, dial pound 250 and say keyword get H2O. You'll save an additional 50% off your first month. Dial pound 250 and say get H2O for this exclusive offer and start saving today.
KHOW News Time, 10:03.
A skier is dead after a weekend accident in Rocky Mountain National Park. Officials say a 68-year-old man from Loveland was killed in a 400 to 500-foot uncontrolled slide from a snowfield into rocks. The man was wearing a helmet. Governor Polis says Colorado's vaccine lottery has helped bump up the state's COVID-19 vaccination rate.
We've already seen an 8% bump in the vaccination rate from these drawings. I know that we can do even better, especially as there's folks out there that plan to get it.
There will be 3 more $1 million winners and 20 more scholarship drawings for kids who get vaccinated. Sports: the Denver Nuggets are done for the season. The Nuggets lost to the Phoenix Suns 125 to 118 last night. The Nuggets getting swept in 4 games in the second round of the NBA playoffs. NBA MVP Nikola Jokic was ejected in the third quarter of last night's game for a flagrant foul. That's the latest. I'm Pat Woodard.
Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by ExpressPros.com.
From the Betfred Sports Traffic Center, we do have a delay now in the Gap project southbound I-25 with an accident approaching Greenland Road, backing up traffic to Spruce Mountain Road. Now, other than that, I-25 traffic moving along accident-free, just some slight slowing southbound I-25 working your way between I-70 and Spear. And I-70 slowing from between 270 and I-25. Denver weather very hot today with a high of 99 and then warm overnight, a low of 64. For Tuesday and Wednesday, a high in the triple digits with 100 degrees expected both days and just a slight chance of a thunderstorm, currently at 78. With your Impact Traffic and Weather, I'm Chris McLaughlin, 630 KHOW.
Now is the time to get a new job. Express Employment Professionals never charges job seekers a fee and has more than 35,000 job openings with high demand in construction, driving, logistics, and administrative jobs. Find a location near you at ExpressPros.com or on the Express Jobs app.
With rates low, lots of lenders want your business, but can they offer you an...
Hey, you know Stu Weedman, right? His wife she was head of the Ed Lightham program.
Who is he?
For Colorado.
He's
an orthopedic doctor. That's one of my really best friends. But his wife was head of the Ed Lightham program in Colorado.
Yeah.
And all she does now is take care. She retired. She was the one who told Hickenlooper to go to hell. Because she was untouchable. Maybe I'll ask her if she wants to volunteer occasionally.
Oh, God, that would be wonderful.
And she is, you don't want to fuck with Linda.
Is Stu retired?
Yeah.
Son of a bitch. He's not that old.
He's, let's see, he's 65.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck him.
But, you know, a lot of doctors...
If I didn't have the bankruptcy, I would have been retired now.
So many doctors are retiring because dealing with the healthcare system
it's full of
so
shit.
fucking hard.
You guys, I mean, just the shit you have to go through.
What do you mean, doctors?
Yeah.
Hey, is it true you don't have to do a residency now, or you still have to?
Yes, sir.
Wait, it depends. But it sounds hard though, right?
I thought you didn't have to do one now.
Bullshit.
For what? For what?
It's more litigious than it's ever been. These guys almost have to take fucking lawsuits.
There are two. In order to get a license, you need to graduate from a medical school.
Hey, Tom Martino here. Welcome to the only show of its kind anywhere in the universe. Welcome. We solve problems, we answer questions, we take complaints, we make life just a little easier. This hour brought to you by RealCBD.Works.com. In fact, today I just gave a bottle to Deputy Dan and Suze because they want to try it, or Suze tried it and loved it. Dan's been taking it, so that's why I got it for them. You can get your own at RealCBD.Works.com.
You know, something curious about that
for
is
pain, inflammation, anxiety. Yes, Mark.
Suzanne is almost sure that's what's helping her with her taste, because
Isn't that
she
weird?
lost her taste over COVID. And there's a lot of people that suffer from that, and it appears to be helping.
And she's not, this is not psychosomatic. She didn't say, she didn't even know. All of a sudden, she started to taste. She goes, Tom, it's been since I've been taking the CBD. Now, we're not, by the way, touting that as a cure for anything, but she had COVID, and it affected her taste, except she stayed married to Mark. But
I was waiting.
It affected her taste, and what happened was she she used some of the CBD, and then she noticed an improvement. Again, that just... it's anecdotal. Anyway, 303-713-TALK. Did you have something to say about that, Suze? I'm sorry. Okay.
No, Tom, I'm excited. I love it.
Yeah, good. And RealCBD.Works.com. Put Tom in the promo code, and you get 30% off. Tom in the promo code, 30% off. Oh, wait, there was another one on pet products. I'll tell you about that later. There's a big discount going on pet products. But right now, RealCBD.Works.com. Tom, 30% off regular products. Okay, so welcome to the show. We have a lot to talk about today. So, Suze, do we have somebody coming in, or are they going to be on the phone?
Yes, I accidentally gave him the wrong address, Tom.
You accidentally
So
gave him
he's running a few minutes late.
He said, wait a minute, this P.O. box looks too small to get into. No, I mean, we have, do you have a follow-up?
Yeah, let's start off with a bang of the week.
Okay, what do you got?
We had
man?
We had somebody call up about a landlord that wouldn't give back a security deposit of $2,450.
$2,450, that's a lot of money. Did the landlord mention why he was keeping it?
He did not.
Okay.
But he said he would, after I spoke to him, he said, well, let me talk to the tenants and we'll see what we can do. The tenant called back and said out of the $2,450, they got $1,950 back.
Very good. That's really
That's a great way to start off the week.
No, that's a lot of money, man. That's almost $2,000. Okay. And Shannon, when I give you the notice, not now, but when I give you, I want to put the sound on these computers. Not yet, though. I want to start making that sound work again because I downloaded some new sounds. Good. Anyway, Monty, what's going on? Let's talk about your problem, question, or complaint. 303-713-TALK is our number. Go ahead, Monty. What's happening?
Just want to call and thank you guys for getting everything squared away for me. And Addison.
Oh, tell me what happened with Addison. First of all, do me a favor. Recap what was happening to begin with. There was something to do with diagnostic fees. You're unhappy.
Right. The problem I was having with the car, I have a 92 South 9000 traction control turbo, and I took it up there because I was having a problem with the ABS, anti-lock and the traction control light illuminating.
Yeah.
And then I was losing brakes. And
so anyway, you wanted Addison Automotive, you wanted them to diagnose something, and you were upset basically, as I understand it. You spent over $300 on diagnostics, but still didn't know what the problem was. Is that right?
Well, yeah, the diagnosis was over $300. I never paid for it because I was able to drive the car when they said it was ready, and it wasn't ready. It was still doing those codes. So I didn't pay for it until I test drove it first, and it was still doing the same thing. And so we went back and forth, like 14, 15 days out. Probably within that time, I called you guys and kind of let you know I want to work things out with the owner because I had a previous business relationship with him. He used to fix a lot of my cars back in the 80s and 90s.
Yeah.
Well, you know, he's become more of a emeritus now. He passed the business over to his son. And what happened is, went in, got a call, talked to Joe. He's a service writer.
Right.
He said that come pick up the car, no charges. Ultimately, he just said that they just not equipped to fix it.
So you basically, you both walked away.
That's right.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Well, yeah, and I think that's fair. Thank you for letting us know. Basically, he took it there. They were mounting up diagnostic charges, but they still couldn't find the problem. So who got involved in that one? Was that Deputy...
I think it was Smarty Marty.
Smarty Marty negotiated that they just, let him have his car, don't charge him. And again, there's a lot to be said about diagnostic charges. How do you feel? Like, let's say they spend 3 hours looking for a problem and can't find it. Do you owe 3 hours of time? Or no, because they didn't find it? That's really a good topic. Or what about it takes a while to give you an estimate? Should you have to pay for the estimate? These are questions that come up all the time with automotive care. But the problem is in automotive care, not the problem, the solution is the Auto Repair Act covers some of that. If there is going to be a charge more than $100, they have to let you know or give you a written estimate. They can't do anything more than $100 without a written estimate. Unless the car is dropped off or towed in. If the car's towed in, the Auto Repair Act doesn't apply. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Marcelino, is it? Am I pronouncing that right, Marcelino?
Yes, that's correct.
What's going on?
Well, basically, I come to visit a friend of mine in the Juanita Nolasco Apartments. That's an apartment complex. It's government run, I think.
Okay.
But, I don't want to mention her name, actually.
No, that's okay. So let me get this straight then. You went to visit a friend at the apartment complex. What's the name of the apartment complex?
It's called Juanita Nolasco. That's the name of it, Juanita Nolasco. And while I was there, I started noticing more and more.
Where is this located in what city?
Denver. It's off of 7th and Vrain.
And it's
9th and Vrain, I'm sorry.
And it's an apartment complex, I keep asking, called Juanita?
Juanita Nolasco. Nolsco.
Nolsco. Okay.
Something like that. Pretty close to that.
Okay, whatever. So it's an apartment complex. That's what we know. So tell me what is going on. It's a Section 8 apartment complex, and you're upset about something.
Well, I see a lot of, there's a lot of elderly people, a lot of handicapped people that are in need, and the maintenance here is just horrible. I mean, you can never get them to fix anything or do anything. You've got no security, and all they have is the sliding doors with the card, and they can get in. People can get in and out.
Okay. Now maintenance, let me explain a few things as far as rentals, whether it be Section 8 or anything else. Security is not really addressed in common areas. Security, however, if, let's say, the front door doesn't lock, that would be a habitability issue, or if windows did not lock or latch. As far as common areas, it's not a habitability issue. It could be a contractual issue if they were promised that in a lease or something. I don't know if we can help with the security part, but I think we can help with maintenance if it's poorly maintained. But I need to know, if you had to pick the worst problem with maintenance, what would it be?
The elevators. That would be the worst.
Now, that for sure is a problem for elderly. Are you telling me there are people, are the elevators not working?
Correct. There's one working now, and it's barely working. You'd be afraid to get in it. It feels pretty dangerous, and this building's really old. I mean, there's no other way of them to get in and out.
How often are elevators out?
Oh, they're often, very often. And people are stuck outside not being able to get back into their floors to where they live.
Why? Because it's too much to walk, right? How many floors?
Oh, there's 36, I think.
Oh, my goodness. Wait a minute.
Hold on.
Yeah, it's a real big building, man.
So wait a minute. You're telling me...
13 floors. I'm sorry. 13 floors.
You're telling me there are 13 floors, and sometimes these people have no access.
Correct.
How?
There's 188 people live here.
Wait a minute. That's
something like that.
Hold on a second. That's wrong. Are you saying truly that there are times when the elevators are down completely?
Completely. Yesterday, I was a witness here. I was here, and there was many, many, many handicapped people out sitting out and getting sun, and they were sitting there crying about, literally crying, that they couldn't get back into their rooms.
And how did they finally get into their rooms?
I have no idea. I was there when they called the police department, and then they also called the fire department, and they said they couldn't do anything for them. There was nothing they could do. They had to get a hold of the managers or the people that run the place.
Do you know any of the management company or owners?
I do not.
You don't have any numbers?
Nobody knows. Yeah, you can't even get their numbers. I mean,
well, I'm going to have Deputy Doc. Is there any manager on site?
It's possible. I mean,
all right, hold on. I'm going to have Deputy Doc talk to you off the air. We got to at least get a start somewhere to find out what's going on. So hang on, all right? We got more coming up.
The Big Bang Theory. Remember their elevators were broke the entire time?
Did anybody get the name? What is it, Mark?
I found it.
How do you spell it?
Juanita. Juanita.
Right.
Nolasco.
So it was Juanita.
Do you have an address there, Mark?
Yeah.
What's the address?
Hold on.
It is.
Hold on, guys.
4550 West 9th Avenue.
Affordable interest mortgage. That's the mortgage company run by a friend of mine, Kurt Rod. I've known Kurt for many, many years. Bottom line is this. If you're looking for a loan, conventional loan, VA, FHA, he's got them. And he also has another kind of loan, one that is extraordinary. It's called the liquid loan. Let me explain it to you. It's a line of credit, but it's a first deed of trust. It's not a second. It's not an equity line. Well, it is, but it's a first, meaning if you owe money on your house, it pays it off. But if you have extra equity, there's money there you can take in emergencies. Now, the other part of this is you can pay down your principal at any time to save money and then draw it back when you need it. That's why we call it a liquid loan. You really need to find out more, especially the part where there's an accompanying bank account that helps you pay down your loan faster. That is really what it's all about. Affordable interest mortgage, 720-895-0500. 720-895-0500.
Joe Cordell at the law firm Cordell & Cordell. When the prospect of divorce becomes a reality...
Hey, Doc, I got the management company info if you want it.
Consider contacting Cordell & Cordell. We help men navigate...
These guys, I can tell right now, these guys manage Section 8 all over the country.
Oh, really?
It's a big fucking company.
Online at CordellCordell.com.
Now, he told me he thought that there was people had to spend the night outside.
It's a Rose Community Management. And you know what? I don't think... Let me see if they have a phone. I'm sure they do. Yep. 216-393-8000. They look like they manage a shitload of Section 8 properties all over the country. And maybe other shit.
This is one big building.
It's ginormous.
Reliable owners with warranties you can trust. K&H Home Solutions.
He said it was a rough area.
They also own or manage the Grand Lowerly Lofts, Metro Green Terrace, which is huge in Connecticut, the Tapestry in New York.
That 216 is a Cleveland, Ohio number. We'll see if they have a local,
Oh, they're not getting, this place is huge, man.
well, they should have a local representative in Denver, right?
I would think so, but you're gonna have to call that number
Yeah,
again.
I'm gonna go work on it right
I
now.
got a number for you as far as insurance management.
What do you mean, the 216?
303.
Oh, wait a second.
That's the local, yeah. That's the front office.
573-9011.
Okay, got it.
We had one where they couldn't get out of their apartment for 4 days. Remember that? That was over the winter.
Wasn't that just a lady, but there's only like one handicapped person, wasn't there?
Something like that.
But I think she could get in there. It's just that it wasn't
It wasn't.
a second one. There wasn't a second exit.
There was something weird with it. But the elevator was out of commission for like a week. But when we called up, they were simply waiting on parts. And it was the middle of COVID, you know. You know, they told me on our elevators here that last time I saw a guy working on them, he said these are getting really hard to get parts for.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He said the life cycle of elevators is generally 20 years.
It's that time of year again. The big storms are going to start rolling through Colorado. And if you experience some damage to your roof, latest exteriors come out, give you a free, no obligation.
So organized now. Oh, I gotta put your shit in here. Let me do that right now.
Assessment as well.
Right
They're
now.
handling your insurance paperwork. Delaying your repair could also cost you thousands of dollars. So get a hold of them today. 303-756-ROOF. Advanced Exteriors, providing you peace of mind.
Wow, was I in pain? And this is my first-hand experience with Colorado Pain Care. They attacked my pain on my first visit. Immediate relief. And they formulated a longer-range plan, including physical therapy. I'm consumer advocate Tom Martino. You don't have to suffer with pain. Get your life back. All major insurance, compassion, and effective care. People of action. You have my word. 303.pain. ColoradoPainCare.com.
This report is sponsored by
I can't believe this Ken says. This guy doesn't even live there. Why is he calling me? She used to help out Ken. Man.
What's that?
Oh, this Ken's online says, he doesn't even live there. Why should he call?
How did he even know about it then? I didn't hear the beginning.
His friend lives there, and he was there, and there was all these people that were like, what was he walked by? Just freaking somebody.
All right, calm down, Becky.
Denver's talk station. Online at khout.com.
I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter.
Welcome to the show. 303-713-TALK. The show brought to you in part by Frank Duran, therealestateman.com. Free market valuations of your home. A market valuation is based on the market, Frank's 26 years of experience, comparables, sales, and appraisals. A little bit of everything. It's more than a Zillow. It's more than an appraisal. It's based on real market conditions, and it's free. Even if you're never going to sell your home, you're just curious. Frank Duran, therealestateman.com, 303-920-1622. Now, let's keep talking. Darlene just hung up. Let's go to Josh. Josh, welcome to the show. Our number, by the way, 303-713-TALK. If you're listening around the clock, different times, you download it, you stream it at different times, you're on the treadmill, 303-MARTINO, you can always get through. 303-MARTINO, 303-627-8466. Josh has an issue at the airport. What's happening, Josh?
Yeah, I'm just curious to think if I should go and ask Canopy Airport Parking for some money. I prepaid for a reservation for a week for 2 cars. Basically, it was $200 for parking at Canopy. When we got there, we waited about a half an hour for a shuttle, and they said it would be another 30 minutes because they didn't staff appropriately, and they only had one shuttle running.
By the way, I'm familiar with Spot in different places. What is Canopy? Is that just another one of those paid services?
Yeah.
Okay.
Canopy, U.S. Airport, Spot, they're all the same thing. So I could have parked at any of those lots. 2 cars, $200. Because Canopy didn't have enough shuttles, I was forced to jump in my car, my wife and her car. We raced to the airport and had to park in underground parking. So instead of $200 for parking, which Canopy refunded, we ended up paying $500 for parking. Do you think Canopy owes me the difference?
Okay, that's a good question. Hold on, let's examine this.
They're negligent.
Let's examine this. First, you had a reservation at Canopy, right?
That's correct.
So
Prepaid.
that's a contract. And they were willing to fulfill the contract as far as taking your car. But I wonder if technically, and then there's well, yeah, we can argue. We know there's a shuttle service, otherwise no one would use it. So the shuttle service, they did not have, so technically could not fulfill your contract. So in essence, what they did was undid the deal and gave your money back. What they're saying is, we can't fulfill the contract, therefore we're giving your money back. You're saying you can't fulfill the contract, but you cost me damages. Here's the thing. That's going to be really difficult. I'm not saying damages aren't possible, but they might even disclaim it, that consequential damages are disclaimed. So many times these things involve airlines, and if you don't miss if you missed a flight and you missed a $2 million real estate deal or a $100 million real estate deal, at what point does the parking lot say, "Come on, man, you know, this is life"? So I don't know. I mean, you talk negligence. I don't think you're going to prove any negligence. Okay, that negligence is really hard and it's gross. I think what you simply would have a breach of contract. You had a reservation, they couldn't fulfill it, not with the conditions of having, you know, I think people would reasonably say parking without a shuttle is ridiculous. So what do you have? You have a breach of contract. So how does their reservation disclaim it? Do they disclaim it? Or I don't know.
Have to read it.
I mean, we'd have that, but that's what it's going to come down to, really, Josh. Did you ask him? Did you say, "Hey, you know, I went there, you couldn't fulfill the contract, I need to be reimbursed"? Did you ask him?
I haven't yet. I wanted to get your opinion. I was actually going to ask him for half the difference.
Why don't you see what they say? I mean, I would not even bring up negligence. I would just say, you know, you didn't fulfill the contract. I had a reservation, I paid, and I was there. So I would just keep it very simple. Mark, where are you?
Well, I'm just reading one from where I park, which is called the parking spot, and how they would handle
spot, right?
this. Yeah, spot.
With the spot.
Yeah,
that's
I like
one
those guys. So, but here's the deal. All they would do is they would refund your reservation fee, and then on top of that, they would give you a free stay up to 7 days the next time you need it, but nothing beyond that. That's their remedy.
I'll email them and ask them, and we'll see what they say.
But it would be nice, even if you got credit for a stay.
Or you park there and maybe take an Uber over. I mean, who knows?
Well, we thought, you know, the problem was it was an international flight. We got to the parking lot 2 hours early. Now we're looking at, by the time we decided to go for the airport, we only had, you know, an hour and 20 minutes to get to the airport.
Got it.
Now we got an hour to, you know, and that point I was like, I'm just jumping in my car and we're going to park as close as we can and race in.
No, I don't blame you. I would love to hear what they tell you. 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. So what's going on, Ed? What's happening? Ed?
Hello? Yeah. Tom, I'm concerned about a tree that seems to be leaning pretty precariously over a roadway. I'm concerned that this tree is going to tip over and
now is this on public right of way?
It's probably right along the roadway on 72nd Avenue and Miller Street, which is probably Arvada.
Do you know who owns it?
I'm thinking it's on the city right of way, probably right along the roadway.
Well, the obvious thing, did you call them?
No, I didn't.
All right, that's where I would start. Because, I mean, obviously, if this was an issue of an individual, they have to take care of it, and so would the city, I imagine. But, I mean, how precarious is it?
I think it's just a matter of time, you know, get a good rainfall and a good wind, and I think it's going to go. I wonder if maybe you have an arborist or
yeah, we do.
One of your listeners could drive by and just see what they think.
Who do we have the tree care? GE is one.
Yeah, Mike.
We ought to ask him to do that, to see if he can just eyeball it and give us an assessment of the danger. Seriously, that's not a bad thing to do. Tree, it's 72nd and Miller, so that would be, you say, Arvada, right?
I'm pretty sure it's Arvada.
And I would call them too, but we will. Suze, let's ask our tree guy if he's around there or has anybody around there. They could just eyeball it on the city right-of-way. 72nd and Miller. 303-713-8255.
KHOW Denver, 630 KL, and iHeartRadio station.
I'm going to do Paragon. You want to do simply in between mine?
All in one.
Oh, so I only have one then.
You got one. Yeah.
Sponsored by Wendy's.
Actually, I'm going to do Master Reader instead.
270 at York, report of an accident near westbound 270 drive is sluggish between I-70 and Vasquez. I-25.
But you want to go first, or you want to do it in the middle?
Normal through there, but overall I-25 is moving along really well.
I'll go first. Okay.
Down in Douglas County.
Do me a favor. Reset it and point it towards me when you're done, so I can hit 60 seconds.
And then a warm overnight, a low of 64. For tomorrow and Wednesday, a high in the triple digits with 100 degrees expected both days and just a slight chance of a thunderstorm.
Hey, when you do lives for
with your impact, traffic and weather,
4th of July, do you put any sauce on them, or do you do them just like you sound in the studio?
Sauce is on here, so I do.
Oh, you do? Okay.
$5 biggie bag. That's 2 fresh beef patties, applewood smoked bacon, and juicy chicken, all for just $5. Here's the bag with the most value. Get the biggie bag. Price and participation may vary.
No one has to tell you how important floor coverings are. I mean, really, they make or break a house, and there's all kinds of floor coverings. Also, you can buy floor coverings anywhere. Really, so many stores have them. So what you're really shopping is not the floor covering. You can get those anywhere, right? You're shopping the company to service you, to take care of you, and no one's better than simplyfloorsinc.com. That's simplyfloorsinc.com. Better prices, better warranties, better installers, simplyfloorsinc.com.
Speaking of great companies, we have a list of them on our referral list, and one of them is Masterwood. What I really like about these plumbers, they own their own excavation team. So if you ever need a sewer line replacement or water lines, or maybe you're a commercial contractor looking to partner with someone, these are your guys. Their pricing is unbelievable. They also give free estimates on anything. That's right, a licensed plumber sent to you for free. Check them out, 720-434-3406, 720-434-3406. Another great home service company. Boy, we're on a roll today. Check these guys out. 888 Heating. Right now, this offer is unbelievable. You get a new air conditioner. You get a new furnace. You get a whole home humidifier. You get 5 years, no interest. I know it's hard to believe, but it's real. Starting at $8,500. Of course, it depends how big your house is, but you're not going to find a better deal, and it's going to go away soon. 888heating.com or call them at 888-HEATING.
Told me Paragon.
No, I switched it.
So I was able to talk to the maintenance manager at this place.
And? You're working on it?
No, I'll tell you after the break.
Hey, he's learning to tease.
He's learning.
I've been doing that for years now.
So they said on the shuttle, the guys are saying they can't find people.
Yeah, they can't.
For what?
The shuttle.
It's unbelievable.
And most shuttles make pretty good tips.
Well, I told you, so I came in today. We had, over the weekend, we had probably 20 to 25 reviews left on referral lists from all different things. Doesn't matter. There was more negative ones than usual by any stretch, and they were all the same thing. I didn't get a call back. When I called up, they said, sorry, we're shorthanded. I understand people are shorthanded with callback, which I agree with. But no one can find fucking employees, man.
You mean the shuttle, like the airport shuttle thing?
Yes.
I always use the Spot. Here's what I love about it.
I used to.
When you have the app, so you fly back into Denver, and if that app is on your phone, they know exactly where you are in DIA. And as soon as you pop out, the shuttle's right the fuck there for you.
Cool.
I've never had a shuttle that knows I'm going to be there.
I got to tell you something, Mark. You know how we all have things that we spend money on?
Hello.
Hey, guys.
How are you?
Oh, I thought it was on in there. The light's on.
What?
That we were on air. So unless you just turned it off. Literally.
So the one thing I spend money on, I always park in the garage.
It's bad.
I got on a bad deal in the summertime.
I always park in the garage. I don't care how much it costs me. I get off the plane, I walk to my car, and I get out of there.
But if you park at the spot and hail, they pay for your hail. I don't care.
Are you serious? I wonder if the one he called about, though, wasn't it called Canvas? Canopy. I wonder if they
might be
Brad, you are on
or
video,
have
and
Canopy.
anything you say is public all the time, even when we're not
Watch your mark.
on the show, like on break, okay?
You know what would be a cool? We had
I'll get your water.
We had. We probably had.
I'll zip the jock. You're Brad with
SaferNet.
Oh, cool. We've met before.
Yeah.
I didn't recognize you.
Why was your mic so good?
Hey, listen, let me ask you a question.
Mine, I did that commercial and forgot to
SaferNet
turn
would
it
have
off.
protected the oil,
I'm sorry.
right? SaferNet would have that oil line, that oil pipeline.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so they had the president in front of Congress. He said he has 100 tech people working on cybersecurity.
There's a good reason.
Why couldn't they do? If they have 100 guys, why couldn't they do something like SaferNet, Brad?
I have no idea.
Hey, Tom, Dan accidentally,
Bureaucracy.
Yeah, I mean, it seems
We
crazy.
have to jump through a million hoops to get everything authorized.
No, but it's a company that had 100 people on their tech, in their tech division, and they couldn't do it.
Well, they were
on our calendar with all our
It
phone numbers.
just seems crazy to me.
Well, what's crazy to me is they didn't have a backup ready to go.
Put the word out that, you know, if you're
There's so
expecting,
many
there was
days
one
that
woman
he tried
over.
to undo it.
Yeah, it was too late.
I get it.
Yeah, but there was one
I hope
woman.
you know, I volunteered for AARC.
He came, he did it at home and then came in and told us.
After their bidding,
Not that I know of, but on Friday, there was a woman looking for a job and I was going to call her today.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Genesis Solar. Do you realize right now we have a great company doing solar? I want to mention it because we've had a lot of ripoffs in solar and a lot of people that don't know what they're doing. And we have a great company now. That's all I want to tell you, Genesis. The same company that brought you all of the Genesis Total Exteriors now, they do solar. And what's important about this is a 25-year bumper-to-bumper warranty on equipment with a 25-year performance guarantee, energy production guaranteed at a certain level that you pre-agree to. No money down, no cash out of pocket. 720-667-4760, GenesisSolarCO.com. Now, sometimes you just got to say, wow. Okay, people, we were going to call a bunch of people to be on the show today who called in on Friday or have contacted us, and we arranged to call you. That list was accidentally deleted. If you were expecting a call today, you can call 303-MARTINO and get right through. We're going to leave that for you first. That's 303-MARTINO, 303-627-8466. All right, Mike, welcome. You have the ADT burglary system, theft system. ADT, by the way, one of the biggest names and one of the biggest companies to avoid, in my opinion, when it comes to home security. But they have a good sales job and marketing job, so people get suckered in. What's going on?
I want to bury those mothers. They won't disconnect me.
What do you mean? Now, do you have a contract with them?
I've been with them for 35 years. No, I don't have any contract.
And when you say that, hold on, do they charge you by the year or by the month?
Well, it's like 3 months. I pay 3 months in advance.
Okay, so when is this 3 months up?
Oh, it's been up. I let it expire. I waited 30 days. I tried canceling. They sent me a bill for $73. I paid them. The check cleared. My alarm is still on. Then I get another bill, it's 6th of June, for $73. Like I say, the check cleared, they're paid. They're loving me along. Yeah, these bastards.
Do you have a record? Do you have a record?
I called them, I've been on the phone to different people, and they said, I don't know how this happened. They didn't disconnect you. They didn't finish their job. Yeah, they're doing it on purpose. I know what the hell they're doing.
All right, Mike. Mike, okay. So we have to help you get terminated from ADT, and they won't do it. Now, do you have an online?
Exactly.
Do you have an online account with them? Do you ever go online to look at your?
I'm not a no God. I'm an old bastard Marine. I'm a Vietnam vet. It's all I do to talk to you on the phone. I want to kill.
All right, Mike. Hey, Mike. So you want to cancel your burglary system, and I don't care why. We're going to help you, but I was just wondering, are you moving or something?
Yeah, I'm going to be talking to Frank Duran today, the real estate man.
Frank Duran,
If you can
okay.
help me, I'm getting the hell out of this commie joint of Arvada, and I'm going to Utah.
You're going to Utah. Okay, get out of commie Arvada, right? Okay.
Yeah, I hate this place. Hey, Tom. Hey, the commie city of Arvada, the latest move is, I'm dealing with too, is they're in the trash disposal business now. Did you know that? Yeah, they teamed up with Republic Trash and put 2 hoppers in front of every fucking house.
I got it. If my delay's working, I got it. Hold on, let me put him on. Hold on. Boy, this guy's going off the deep end. Woo. I got it, though. I did get it. Okay, now, Suze, what I'd like to do is
get that guy in studio.
Get his name and number. Give it to. See if Deputy Marty can get him canceled from ADT.
Got it.
Marty likes cutting through red tape. Let's just see if we can get him disconnected.
Commie bastards.
I didn't get a chance to ask him other questions, but I was afraid to. He is really upset. He was dropping bombs, and I had to get rid of him. All right. Jamie, what's going on? Jamie. What's going on, man?
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir, I can hear you. Jamie? Okay.
I'm here. Sorry about that.
Oh, okay, there you go. What's going on?
Well, my husband and I invested our life savings and bought 75 acres that has a current mining claim on it.
Now, where did you buy the 75 acres?
In Weld County, Colorado, up by Johnstown, about 3 miles from the...
What was your plan with it?
Well, our plan is to build a home on it, and we're hoping to take a portion of it and build an event center, wedding venue, or a private fishing club.
Okay, I wanted to ask you, this is just because I've done a lot of development in my day, and is zoning going to be conducive for you doing that?
That we're in the process of. There are some areas because of the flood from 13 that we're having to do a LOMA, and we had to do some elevations and some work to remove it from the floodplain.
So you did do some due diligence, and they're going to let you subdivide it, and some of it will be commercial.
Well, we don't have that definite yet, but right now the property is zoned agricultural. So that's the process. Right now the current process is with the mining claim.
Yeah. Well, I don't want to throw any water on your dream fire there, but I was just saying, man, I'll tell you, when you buy property, especially agricultural, the subdividing and then the changing of zoning or special uses, boy, that can be a lot, and that's a lot to take on. But more power to you, Jamie. What are you calling about with this property? Is there any other problem we can help with?
Yes, we are. We have a mining claim, I guess on our land there was a mining claim.
Okay.
And
is it a mining claim for minerals, or for oil, or for gas? Anything specific?
It was a gravel pit. It was exclusive. They did it for gravel, for cement plant, gravel pit.
Hold on. And for a plant or just the pit?
Just the pit.
Okay, got it. And is it actually a deeded or a leased interest, or how was it done?
Yes, it's Weld County issued a permit.
No, but who sold that? Where did they get the rights to go on that land?
From the gentleman we bought it from.
Okay, and how long is that right?
That is 10 years.
And when does that expire?
5 years from now.
Okay, I got it. So, go ahead, keep going. So what's the problem?
The problem is they started the reclamation and basically stated they finished mining in 2017. So when you complete mining with the state, you're required to slope, compact a lake, make it safe. The state standard is 3 to 1 or less.
Was there water on it? Was there water in it?
There is now. They filled it from the river.
Is it going to be naturally fed or is it going to go away?
It is naturally fed.
Wow, that enhanced your property values. Hold on, I want to get to the problem and see if we can help you solve it. I'm Tom Martino, 303-713-TALK.
That guy was a firecracker.
He was funny as hell, wasn't he? Man, he was on fire, too.
I guarantee you, if he's doomed, he would have a cigarette in one hand and a bottle of booze in the other.
They put 2 trash cans in front of every house.
That really got a lot of people upset.
What did?
That trash when the city took over the trash at...
we had a few calls.
I don't know. I'm not really sure why.
Unless you got
Mark, why do you have dates on there?
On where?
On your spot.
That's just so when I know.
Shit. Okay, I didn't know you wanted that as part. I title them the way they use them.
I don't care.
Okay. All right.
I just do that so when I go back and look, I know what date actually did them. That's all.
This one guy predicted this guy's going to say the F-bomb.
He predicted that.
Yes.
Bastards. I'm just a grumpy old bastard. Commie Arvada. Bastards.
When he said fuck, then I said, okay, I'm in trouble. I should have seen that coming.
Well, you had the delay, so you got it.
Yeah, well, hopefully this time we had it.
Let's talk about getting your countertops done at the Art of Granite. And the reason I say the Art of Granite is because it's so simple the way they do business. You can get prices on the phone. And it doesn't have to be just granite. Any solid surface, any natural stone, they're direct stone importers, but they charge wholesale for materials. Bottom line, wholesale. Then they charge for fabrication and installation. They do the bathroom free. When you do the kitchen, they tear out hallway free, so you can call and get a price on the phone right now. And it'll be closed, 303-386-5919. They're proud, 303-386-5919, theartofgranite.com. Blake Harris Law's been busy. In fact, he's on TikTok doing Ask Blake, believe it or not, all about estate planning. He's a hit. You can call him and talk private, and all you have to do is ask about trust, wills, avoiding probate, maybe you're facing probate, whatever it is. BlakeHarrisLaw.com is there to help you. 833-ASK-BLAKE. Flat rate pricing on everything he does, but he'll talk to you free of charge. I use him, we all use him here, and we recommend him highly. You can read about him in my magazine, 303consumer.com. We did a complete centerfold article on the 10 biggest mistakes in estate planning. It's yours free for downloading, 303consumer.com. BlakeHarrisLaw.com can guide you through retirement law and estate planning, which is all about protecting yourself while you're alive and your heirs. 833-ASK-BLAKE. When you're in business, you just heard me say BlakeHarrisLaw.com, and then before that, I gave out theartofgranite.com. Everyone has a website. So the company I'm going to tell you about now can help you get the most of that website. Now, you may think your website's doing great. You may even count the visitors and say, see, I had a lot of visitors. But you don't know, it could be doing better. You could be invisible to search engines or down the list. You could need some help. They'll give you free advice, free analysis with no obligation. GetFoundFast.com to sign up for one. GetFoundFast.com.
When it comes to retirement, success is built upon solid financial planning. I'm Scott Hansen.
So how's business been?
It's good. We're steady growing, so good. That's the way we want it.
Subscription model, baby.
Well, I don't see how you go wrong with that free introductory offer. How the hell do you go wrong? You can't.
It's, I think it works. Let people give it a try. And
what's the percentage of people that try and do not come?
So they go through a cancellation, and we get about 8% that cancel.
Oh, really? That's really good. 90%.
So, yeah, it's really not, it's not bad at all.
Yeah.
Okay, you're loaded. I'm going to give you a link to this drive, Mark.
What the hell is this mean? What did Suzanne just send us? Here's a letter on how the slope information was obtained. Is this for the call we're talking to right now?
Yes, yes it is. It's with
Maximum slopes.
It's supposed to be a maximum 3-to-1, and they even go 4-to-1.
And what do they have?
4-to-1 plus in some areas. And so what's going to happen?
Wait a minute. Who even knew we were talking about it?
No, he sent it. The caller.
But why?
Because to show what they did is they bought a survey for $6,500 showing the slope.
You know what? I mean, if this is the rules, why wouldn't they just re-slope it?
A great question, but the guy for the state is saying, "Oh, I don't think it's that," or whatever.
He doesn't agree with the.
Right.
He doesn't agree with the readings.
Right.
Oh,
He said it's too. You know what he told him? It was too hard to read.
You mean the survey? Maybe it was. You know who we should have look at it is an engineer.
Let's go. Bring it up.
No, for real, over at one of the cities.
You know what, engineer?
No, it'd be more of I don't know what kind of engineer that
I will
would be.
bet you they make it pretty. What about a city planner, Mark? No, would a city planner have that? Yeah, why be an architect when you be a city planner?
No, I'm thinking I'm trying to think what kind of engineer I used when they came out to do all the compaction tests and shit like that and the angles. I don't even know what kind of engineer that would be. I mean, look.
But you're right, the county will have an engineer that does this.
Let me see what this guy was. He's got a website. Colorado Geoscience and Design. Civil engineers, that's what the fuck I was trying to do.
Geez, they give you all the 3-to-1s of 30%.
All right.
Hi, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. We have SaferNet with us. We'll be talking about that. I know we talk about SaferNet a lot in the service, and I have it on my devices. We can talk about how it works and why you should have it. And it's for business, and it's for individuals. And I really believe that this pipeline could have saved $4 million if they had it and used it properly. Because if you have it and use it properly, ransomware can't do anything to you. I know you're thinking, no way. Well, we'll talk about it. Jamie?
Yes.
This mining claim, they're supposed to reclaim it afterward or do reparations, so to speak, or they obviously don't have to put it back to the way it was, but there's a plan that each miner files as to what they're going to do. Yes. So are you complaining about the way they did the reclamation?
That is correct.
What did they do wrong?
They haven't satisfied the state standard of a 3-to-1 slope or less, 33%, which is required for safety.
And where is the slope?
The slope is like you're walking down to the lake. It's along the edge of the lake. The lake is quite large. It's 36 acres. And it's very important that the first 5 feet of slope from the water going up is 3-to-1, so that, or less, so that nobody falls in, drowns, or...
How do you know it's not that now?
Yeah.
How do you know what the slope is now?
We hired King Surveyors to do a professional digital surveyor.
I got it.
The estimated cost was like $6,000 to fly.
So who did the reclamation for the company?
Loveland Ready Mix out of Johnstown.
They actually use Loveland Ready Mix to actually do the grading?
Loveland Ready Mix has done their own reclamation, or I should say lack thereof. It's their mining claim, and they're the one in charge of the reclamation plan, and they have been trying to do their own reclamation plan. They have a couple open mining permits as we speak.
You know, the agreement they have for reclamation is with the government, right?
Yes, with the state standards.
It's not, okay, it's not, okay, it's state. And
yes.
And I know that you're what's sometimes called a third-party beneficiary, meaning that you benefit from this contract or you can be harmed by the contract. But
correct.
Very seldom would you have you could, but you're going to have a tough time enforcing it. The state's going to have to do it. So my question is simple. Did you tell the state that this is not done properly?
We have been filing complaints since 2018.
And what does the state do?
They say the slope is fine. That's why we spent $6,000 on the best technology to prove that
but
it's not.
But you see, here's the thing. This is complicated, and I don't want to give you legal advice, but okay, that company has no obligation to you. All right, that concrete company has an obligation to the state. Now hold on. If they were doing nothing, and the state threw up their hands, you could do what's called a third-party beneficiary claim. They're odd, but what it's saying is this. I'm benefiting from that contract the two of you have, and now I'm being hurt because it's not being fulfilled. And then you have to prove the existence of the contract and the breach of the contract. It would be like a coupon company that signed a contract with me, let's say, to send out coupons, and they failed to honor the coupon. If you had a coupon, you could sue that company saying, you had a contract that I benefited from and I'm not benefiting. It's called third-party beneficiary. What I'm saying is this, in a nutshell, it's not worth it. You'd probably, it would be too expensive and it wouldn't be worth it. I really don't think so. So you're only, and besides, you have a state saying that they're satisfied. So you'd have almost an impossible duty on your hands because even if, listen to this, even if it's not standard, okay? Even if it's not, the state's willing to accept it. So that's your problem because they don't have to please you. They just have to please the state. And if the state relaxes their enforcement, that's a problem. But they don't have an obligation to make you happy. No one has an obligation to make you happy because you're not involved in it.
And it could have been, it sounds to me like it could have been right at the beginning, but the water has eroded it in some areas?
Well, what difference? It wouldn't matter. What I'm asking is, Jamie, you have to understand. You have to understand that even if you're right and you've proven it's not to standard, and the state says we don't care, we like it, you're out of luck. I don't know what, because you're not in the contract. So we have to explore why you think you have a right. That really, because they're going to say we're happy. What judge is going to keep fighting this for you?
You know, it would be different if the state says, yeah, but we can't go after them right now.
Hold on, guys.
What are you doing?
Weird. Just weird. Putting a spot in here. You can watch the biggest names in Hollywood and the MLB legends come together in a new, friendly, fun-filled exhibition game. You got to check these guys out. It's the All-Star Celebrity Softball Game. For tickets, go to allstargame.com. That's allstargame.com.
They must be having a hard time selling tickets because I know the people, my friends who have season tickets, don't want to buy
3 days of
3 days. They have no choice. They have to buy all 3 days worth.
They're even selling dugout seats for all 3 days.
No way, really? You can sit in the dugout? Oh, it's they're expensive. So Tom,
that would be a trip, though.
Would the state ever be able to go back on them and say, "Hey, now you guys got to improve this"?
If you read what these people were saying, it could have been. My point was, it could have been correct at the beginning, and the water eroded certain areas of it. Yeah, it could.
Oh, yeah.
But, so, I mean, but they, well, but let's say,
Past the elevators.
what would they
make
have
a
to
right
keep
turn.
it at that slope for 100 years for these people? Of course not.
Right, exactly. Right, but they're supposed to plant vegetation there to kind of hold.
Well, okay, but if the state, okay, then she never mentioned that.
Right, okay,
and there's no vegetation.
Okay, right, so here's also.
What did the state say about no
The
vegetation?
state said that's why they disallowed it, not for the slope, but for the vegetation. So
what's the state doing now?
They said they gotta plant some more. If you ask for.
Okay, well, that's good.
But they have nothing about the slope, just the vegetation.
Well, they don't give a shit. And again, how would you ever argue, I want you to make it better, I don't like it? First of all, what's their loss? Are they going to say, I wouldn't have bought the property? They knew it was there when they bought the property. There's no loss for them.
I think you're looking at what happens down the road.
Well, who gives a shit? That's life. I mean,
you know what they paid for this?
What? They paid way too much.
You think? For 37-acre lake?
Way too much. No, for the property.
Oh,
The lake
property was 75 acres.
wasn't on there when they bought it.
Well, no, they knew they were going to get filled up. So it was just a pit.
Yeah, but I think that's way too much for that property.
Okay.
I mean, $1 million, okay, do you know how much an undeveloped acre of agricultural property, divide, well, how many acres did she say she got?
75.
75, divide that, do some division, tell me what she got per acre. That's bullshit.
Probably about $1,500 an acre.
No, it's not 1,500, come on, really, $1 million?
Divided by 75.
Divided by 75.
Probably 15,000. It's just my guess.
13,000.
Okay. Well,
Okay,
15 was a guess.
that's high for bulk purchase of agricultural land.
I guess I look at how many lakes are out there, and this would be, to me, probably a pretty, you've seen gravel pit lakes before, they're crystal clear. You know, they're really,
They're nice.
yeah.
Aren't they supposed to stock it with some good fish?
I know, a friend of mine has a real nice lake like that where they.
Hey, Tom, how
Does
long
he
does it
stock
take
it?
for the CBD to kick into action?
So Table Rock Lake in
I mean, do you need to build it up, or is it just work?
Branson, Missouri, or around that area, they took this dam out and they flooded this whole area. So if you go there, you can put on scuba gear and there's fucking cars and buildings and shit
They
over
got
there.
cars down there?
Everything, man.
Why would they have left cars?
I don't fucking know.
That seems like they started leaking oil.
They may have taken the fluids out before they put the cars in.
You know what? Maybe they did, huh?
No, why would they have done it? It's easier just to bring the car out.
I don't know, I'm just,
Maybe they did it kind of as a, I don't know, I gotta read, that's a very curious question. That makes me wonder if the dam broke and then they just never fixed it.
Then I could see that. But I do know that other places and stuff, lakes and stuff.
hey, Dan,
buildings.
let me see your CBD.
Man, I was watching professional pickleball last night. We gotta try it.
Is it fast?
Yeah, it's fast.
Like ping pong kind of shit?
Yes.
Is it that? It's
All
that
these
fast?
kids like
They do
coming
the
that did not,
bleed-
they wouldn't fly
It's
during
just like that.
Does this ones?
Now I'm all
You don't have
stuck
to
with
bounce.
them.
I can hit it directly
It's
to
like-
Right.
Yes.
Oh,
So
all the
our
gear
money
rides
just
you do?
They're
He
all,
said,
all the
hey, Dan,
carriage
take
rides
one
are
of these a
piling
day.
up.
Swear.
that's
He
wrong.
said he got blood.
Because I would have done it, but no, nobody wanted to do it.
Dan, you take
Yeah.
one of these a day?
Yeah, I just like.
Tom,
I don't
Brown's
feel anything yet.
Can I
producer
steal a
is
couple?
sort of asking, we jokingly put on the air that,
Wow. I'm gonna try it for a
stop
week and see what
calling
happens.
him after the show and call 303 Martino when they need
When I
us.
first ever did it,
Because
you really
I guess,
did it like a shit.
okay, I'll put it on the screen to remind you, he's getting a shit ton of calls.
Well, I got
affecting
7,
his
I'm gonna
job
try it for a week.
apparently, so.
Yeah,
See if it'll
not
help
much
my
I can
back.
do about it,
Sorry,
except
Brad.
put that out.
I said, we already do, we say call 303 Martino off the air. So,
So paddles, what I'm worried about
Any
is,
coffee, Ben?
do you buy some cheap ones to try it out, or you just
I've had my fair share
buy
this
the
morning.
best one?
I stopped drinking, when we were at Tom's house, I was drinking about 4 of those a day. I stopped
Watching on
drinking
YouTube, just put it
Diet
down.
Coke and substitute, coffee.
It's all the action.
You were on like a kitchen counter or something?
Yeah, Tom's house.
Yeah, I've seen that. I'd be drinking coffee all day long if I was sitting
Yeah,
in the kitchen.
exactly.
Currently, it's 84. If you're in fact traffic and weather, I'm Law Firm 630 Kate House. Not to be a backseat
So,
driver.
Mark, I'm down to, from 232, I'm down to 204. That's a pretty good loss.
How much did you lose?
I went from 232 to 204.
That's very nice. You
Yeah.
guys, that must be.
I feel much better.
Good job. What are you doing?
I'm doing the intermittent fasting, so I'm only eating between 2 p.m. and 8 p.m. And then I'm doing the no carb.
No carb.
No carb. Plus walking 30 to 60 minutes a day.
Very
So
nice.
it's working. I was in hospital for a month with COVID.
Oh, were you?
Oh, we're a month?
It was 24 days.
Wow. I was thinking just.
I remember that.
Yeah.
I was concerned, man.
I was pretty sick. But, so while I was in a
Did they put you on a
hospital,
ventilator?
I was that close, but I didn't have to go on a ventilator. But it was really funny. The only symptom I had was shortness of breath. So I'm sitting in the hospital bed, and the only thing I did was eat. So I ate like a pig. And then when I got out, I couldn't exercise, couldn't do anything, but I just sat there at home and ate more. So I just pigged out.
We were thinking about going cleaning your apartment out.
3 weeks. I almost needed one of those cranes to lift me out of my bed. But then when I started to walk, I decided to under a day. But it's like 28 pounds, which is in 2 months.
That's fantastic.
Yes, I want to get down to 199. Because I'm 6'2", I figured 199.
I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, and I welcome you to the only show of its kind anywhere in the universe. 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. This hour brought to you by Harris Family Law. If you're facing divorce, I hope you're not. I mean, well, maybe it's good for you if you want to. Who am I to say, right? But it's a trying time, and what you want is an attorney that's not going to turn up the heat. Harris Family Law, they do collaborative law. They actually get the other parties to the other party to say, and the other attorneys to say, we're not going to do this. We're not going to run up bills. We're not going to file needless motions. We're going to talk first. It's a really new trend in law, especially family law, collaborative law. They also do other things like unbundled services, so you don't have to have them for the whole thing. You can do a lot of it yourself. Whatever you need, they can do for you. HarrisFamilyLaw.com. A team of very talented attorneys. Harris Family Law. 303-515-5000. 303-515-5000. All right, so we have in the studio Brad Hawkins with us from SaferNet. And as soon as that pipeline hack happened, it was a ransomware, and what happened with the ransomware is they encrypt files and say if you want the decryption code, you have to pay. And you know they do supply a code to unlock your files, and they've hit hospitals and governments all over the country. In this case, the pipeline people or the government, whoever, paid like $4 million in crypto, and then they went out to recover some of that, I think, which tells you the government knows a little more than they're saying about crypto wallets because they were able to snag back some of it. But millions of dollars. So, Jamie, am I exaggerating? Or I'm sorry, Brad. Am I exaggerating in saying that they could have saved a lot of trouble with something this simple like SaferNet? Am I exaggerating?
No, not at all.
I know it.
Absolutely. All that has to happen is if you leave SaferNet on
all the time,
on any device that's connected to the internet, you're going to be in a closed network, and it doesn't matter what kind of virus they try to get at you with, it's not going to be able to communicate.
But I'm sure they have a VPN. Doesn't the government have a VPN? Or I don't know. Okay, so go ahead.
So what it is, it's a secured tunnel between your device and wherever you're going on the internet. So most companies require that if you're going to access the network within their company, you have to access with a VPN. But if you're not running a VPN 24/7, you are likely to have a virus on that device. So when you fire up that computer, that virus is activated, and you might even be creating a connection with a virus, putting that virus within the company. So that VPN has to be on 24/7.
Not only be on 24/7, but everyone remotely has to be on one.
Exactly.
So but if a company has a VPN, I don't want to get too technical. If a company has a VPN with a login, can't you require your employees to log in from home into that VPN?
Yeah, but if that computer is not always on a VPN,
then once they get on the VPN, the virus can infiltrate.
Exactly.
So you can actually invite, okay, so anyone connected to the VPN, unless they're connected to it all the time, they can't be sure the VPN is safe.
Exactly. There might be
every member has to be logged on all the time.
Right, exactly.
And in order to so what SaferNet does is SaferNet, if they had SaferNet on their VPN, what would happen?
As long as you never log out of SaferNet, SaferNet is on.
But even the users could have come in. Okay, what I'm saying is the company could have had SaferNet. So whenever somebody's on that VPN, the main server has SaferNet. So even if one of the members was at a Starbucks or at home and they had a virus, malware, and that malware did get on the server, if that server is constantly running a SaferNet, they would never be able to transmit or encrypt.
Exactly. So worst case scenario, a virus gets on that server.
And it most likely could with independent people all over the country logging on, right?
Exactly.
Okay, but it won't do anything because it can't communicate out.
Exactly. That virus might be on there. It might be trying to communicate, but we're shutting it down and it will not allow it to communicate and activate that virus.
That's wonderful. The best thing would be is while it's shut down, you have a scan to route it out just in case.
Yes.
Now, you said you were working on that version. Do you have that?
Not yet. SaferNet has, COVID has slowed down our development in a way that I had not anticipated.
Okay, but fine. But still, if you keep it on all the time, it will keep whatever did get on there only. And there's no, and the way for ransomware to work is for it to communicate saying, I'm in place, tell me what to do.
Right, exactly.
And it has to send that signal because otherwise they can't communicate and they can't encrypt the files.
No, exactly. Because if they're not able to communicate to their host, all it is a piece of code on someone's software that can't do anything.
And that's with most viruses, right?
Exactly.
All right. Yeah. So the secret is to keep this running all the time and on the server. Now, if you have a home network or a kid's phone, you simply install it. If I have it on my kids' phones, will I be notified if they turn it off or disable it?
Yes, absolutely.
I know. I'm just asking that because I do have it on my kids. And so it knows. And in fact, I believe their mother limits their actual online time with it.
Yeah, you can go into settings and create a block of time that they're allowed to use.
Right.
And they can use it until that's done, and then their internet access is turned off. The cell phone will still work.
Isn't that crazy?
And you can track them anywhere you want.
Right. Anyway, so at SaferNet.com, here's the best part. It's a few bucks a month for each device. Okay? You can try it out free. Just put Tom in the promo code, and you get 44 days. 44 days with Tom in the promo code. Now, Jamie, here is what I want to say. We really analyzed this, and I ran it by one of my attorneys. And here's what it is, okay? You bought a piece of land. You did not buy the piece of land based on reclamation or exactly what it was going to look like. In other words, they didn't promise you, hey, if you buy this land, this is going to be done this way. You're depending on the state, and the state has an agreement with the mining company. The mining company has to reclaim the property in a certain way, and you're saying they violated the terms with the state, yet the state is not calling it a violation. So really, what can you do about it? There's not anything you can do if you can't get the very person who has the contract to complain about it. If they're not going to join you, even if you wanted to pay the legal fees and sue as a third-party beneficiary, you'd have to prove that they didn't do it right. And if the state's not willing to say that, you're going to have a tough time when two people have a contract and you're trying to sue them to get them to adhere to the contract, and they're agreeing with each other that we're just fine with the way things are. However, in addition to the slope you're unhappy with, in addition to the slope, they're also supposed to put vegetation down, right?
I don't have Loveland Ready Mix, I'm not trying to sue them.
I know you're not.
State to enforce the state guidelines of what they're supposed to enforce.
You know, those guidelines also say the board can approve other stuff.
Jamie, I'm not saying you wanted to sue them. What I meant was, in order to get them to do what? Jamie.
Yes. I just want the state to enforce the rules.
Oh, but the state doesn't want to. They don't have to, is what I'm saying. They don't have to. In other words, Jamie, what if you're driving down the street and you see there's a hillside and you don't like the way or something that's on state property is not proper? You can't make them change it.
Even if it's a safety violation?
Where's the safety violation? Okay, if you...
safety violation...
Okay, again, Jamie...
the violation is in the slope of the lake.
Okay, and by the way the phones work, I'm sorry, it sometimes sounds like we're interrupting each other. There's a slight delay in this call, but here's what I want to say.
Sure.
On the safety violation, okay, there is no safety violation unless somebody got hurt. And you said it happened because of this. You can't sue or force somebody to do something on coulda, shoulda, woulda. It's got to be a real claim. You guys don't like the way it's reclaimed, and you want to enforce state standards. You do not have standing to enforce state standards if the state won't do it. If the state said to you, we agree with you, let's go after them, that would be different, but they're not agreeing with you.
I agree. That's why we did the survey and the documentation to provide to the people at the state.
So did the state say, oh, you're right, Jamie, we need to go after them? Of course they didn't.
Well, we don't know yet. That was submitted today.
Oh.
The appeal was submitted today.
Okay.
And that was the email I forwarded you.
Well, that's pretty good then. We have to wait to see what they say.
Today.
But Jamie, the state can change their requirements let's say it was going to cost them $1 million or something to get this done, or $500,000, and they didn't want to go after the company or whatever. All they have to do is administratively alter the requirement.
And it says that all over that documentation you said.
You may not like it, Jamie, honest to goodness, but you're trying to make them do something. You're saying, you better obey the state, and the state's saying, we don't care. That's really what's happening. Unfortunately, that's what's happening for you.
Take your home like it is, and let us help you make it like you want it. Hi, Dan Shaquille.
When you come back, you want me to talk about the update on that housing issue?
I told you about Genesis Solar, and I'm telling you again, because Genesis Solar is what you want when it comes to solar. Don't even consider anyone else. Finally, we have one of our referral list members from Genesis Total Exteriors who opened a solar division. He'll do a free site evaluation, just takes 20 minutes. They have a 25-year bumper-to-bumper equipment warranty, an energy production guarantee, an actual performance guarantee. You own it, and it's not a lease. Think about that. GenesisSolarCO.com. GenesisSolarCO.com. That's GenesisSolarCO.com. Frank Duran, the realestateman.com, can help you buy or sell real estate. We talk about selling a lot. Frank can sell for more money, and he can sell faster than the market average. Even in this great market, he still beats it. Frank Duran, realestateman.com, but when it comes to buying, he has a team that does that too. And you know, they go out and get properties where people have taken them off the market or they've just put them on the market. They know how to get them. Frank Duran, realestateman.com.
Tickets are on sale for the SiriusXM All-Star Futures game and the MLB All-Star Celebrity Softball game at Coors Field. It's Sunday, July 11th, and the first 15,000 fans receive a souvenir bucket hat. For tickets, go to allstargame.com.
I just can't believe that these people think that the state, I mean, we can't even continue this. It's ridiculous.
Well, I would have thought you could push the state, but you're right.
You could ask them.
Right, yeah. But as long as, even though it says that, they can say, hey, you know, it's going to
if there was something clearly dangerous, whether it was a state regulation or not, but even without a damage. And so if you say this is a state requirement and they're not following it, and they say, yeah, I know.
Check out what they have, though. Fuck. 75 acres with a 30-acre lake? That's a nice setup. That's crazy nice.
All they need is a big RV to park on it so they can live on it, right, Mark?
They could do that.
No, they could have they could have their own private fishing lake.
Heck yeah, man.
No, I'm saying while they build their house, they just need Mark's RV.
They just need a 50-amp connection. Man, that guy bought mine. He's not picking it up till the 28th.
Oh, so you have to store it.
Yeah, it's not a huge deal, but
You just leave it parked on your property, right?
yeah, I mean it's in my RV
Yeah,
garage.
it's no big deal, right?
Well, if I happen to have this one here, then I got to decide which one's staying outside, and it's most likely going to be the one he owns. We had hail just last night.
Yeah, we did too where I live.
We had hail for probably a solid hour, 2 hours, but it wasn't that big. It was pretty small shit.
What part of town you in?
Franktown.
That's not part of town. That's like in the boonies.
That's our town.
35 minutes from here.
So what would it cost you to take an Uber to the airport?
Well, the problem is getting an Uber to Franktown.
Yeah.
Like if I'm at the airport and I'm going home, it would be no problem because there's Ubers everywhere there and they'll go to Franktown. But you won't, if we really want to Uber somewhere, we'll usually drive into Castle Rock, park at the local pizza joint, then call an Uber to go downtown, for example, because getting an Uber into Franktown, I mean, you might never get one. One time we waited and waited, said like 45 minutes, 30 minutes, 15 minutes, and then the driver canceled at the last minute. And then, like, you're starting all over, literally.
Right. So what does it cost to go from the airport to Franktown about?
Now on Uber?
Yeah. Assuming it's not the crazy...
I have not done it since post-pandemic.
Well,
Uber's 3 times higher now than it
really
was. Oh, my God. Vegas, to give you an idea, I used to go from the Vegas airport to like MGM.
Yeah.
It'd be $6.
Right.
Now it's probably $17.
Really?
Yeah. It's crazy. If you can get one. Then we were in the MGM recently and we're trying to get one to go downtown. I mean, it took 40 minutes just to get an Uber. And it was, $25. But it was probably, the furthest I've done is downtown. Sculptor Park, so 13th and Lawrence to Franktown. It was like $45, which isn't bad at all. A taxi would have been $100 easy.
Right.
There's nobody driving. The problem is Uber, even though you're an independent contractor,
you're now an employee.
Yeah, you're your own employee, so it'll screw with their benefits, so they don't mess with it.
I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter.
303-713-TALK, 713-8255. What's on your mind? Anything that you can do to help yourself, we can help you with. In other words, if you're embarking on a transaction or a big deal of some kind, give us a call. and we'll be happy to discuss with you ways to avoid problems. Over the years, because we've gotten calls from virtually every category of problem, very seldom do we hear a new problem at all, ever. If we do, though, we'll buy you cookies because that'll be unusual. But in any case, when you tell us a problem, we go back to our volume, we go back to our calls, we go back to our referral list, we go back to our troubleshooter.com. We look for similar problems. So we can almost address anything when it comes to how to approach it and how to avoid problems. I can tell you the biggest mistakes in practically any industry. All right, so we have with us today SaferNet, Brad, and it's such a simple concept. It is such a simple concept. It's an app that runs in the background on your phone or on your computer, and it protects you. It's that simple. He was talking about he limits the ability for the bad thing to communicate outwardly. So even if someone did something stupid and they downloaded a virus when they were not protected, or they opened something that had a virus, that virus cannot do anything without communicating to its host. Why do viruses have to communicate with a host? Aren't there some just destructive viruses that can do stuff? So
yeah, there sure are. There's some viruses that are just all about destruction.
Right. So if somebody was dumb and they had it downloaded to their phone and they get on your home network, it still won't, though. It still won't go to your computer, will it?
No, because what'll happen is we'll capture it to the device that it shows up on, but it will not be able to transfer itself to all the other pieces of the network.
Good.
So it still will do a little bit of harm, but it can't affect the network.
Well, no, it'll harm that one thing only.
Exactly.
But it won't harm the overall thing.
Exactly.
Do viruses get on people's clouds?
Well, that's
don't clouds have good protection?
That's a pretty tough thing. I mean, it would be a major hack that the world would know if it hit one of the major cloud networks.
303-713-TALK. Alex, what's going on? Alex.
Hi, Alex.
What's happening?
Thank you.
What's going on?
So I had a roof. My deceased father had a roof put on.
By who?
He had Ready Roofers. They are a roofing company out of Kansas.
Oh, man. Okay, the reason I say, oh, man, is that when there's a storm or when there's, well, actually, they're called travelers. They're roofers that come in from all over. And
or gypsies.
Yeah, except people don't use that term anymore. But in any case, these guys come in from all over, and they just rob and steal. But I'm not saying that's Ready Roofers, but it's sounding pretty bad already. If you get an out-of-state roofer, there's usually a reason. So Ready Roofers, what did they do?
So my dad had all these shingles already. He had 4 pallets of shingles, a lot of supplies. He just needed somebody to come in and put the shingles on. He was disabled, terminally ill with cancer.
Yeah, so he supplied the material.
Yes.
That's a bad way to do it. But how did he happen to have materials?
He got them a long time ago. I was a little too young to remember. He got them, and he's been trying to put them on.
All right. So so there was no insurance claim or storm damage?
No.
Okay.
It was just a roof that needed replaced.
So he hired Ready Roofers from Kansas to do it?
Yes, and they do work here in Lamar, Colorado.
Well, I'm sure they do. It's not too far. Yeah. Okay, so what happened?
So they, in November, they, I guess, made a contract according to the dates on the contract. I was kind of unaware of this. My dad was getting a lot sicker at this time, and he was like, well, just get the roof on.
So when did he hire him? When?
November in 2020.
And what is okay, so let's just speed forward. Did they ever do anything?
They did. They used his shingles. They said they were fine, and they came in and put the shingles on the roof, but it's terrible.
Wow, I'm surprised they even did the job. That's good. So did he pay them already?
No, I didn't have any knowledge of that until after he passed in February.
Oh,
and
I get it. So hold on, wait. We got a whole new ball game here, and you're saying the job sucks, right?
Absolutely. There's daylight coming through the roof.
All right, you hold on because we might be able to do something. I have a feeling they're coming after you for a lien, right?
Mechanics lien.
All right, hold on. Let's talk about this. I'm going to try to get our state attorney on. I have a question for him, too. If we can get Blake Harris, it would be good.
Or shingles sitting around for all that time, they're going to get brittle.
What'd you say?
Shingles sitting around,
Yeah.
sounds like for years, they're going to get all brittle. And
It's going to be horrible.
Were you trying to do a follow-up?
Excuse me?
Were you trying to do a follow-up?
Yeah, when you get a break.
Which one do you want to do?
About the Marcelino with the elevator and the housing issue.
Okay.
So when you get a chance.
Now, the Marcelino's more than you called, right? I mean, did they get back to you? Did you actually talk to us about it?
I spoke to somebody
Good.
at the property, yeah.
Good. Good.
No, I wouldn't do an update if I hadn't spoken to somebody.
No, I'm just curious
Yeah.
if...
Yeah, I spoke to the maintenance guy.
All right. You know, I can't believe how many people need cash, and yet they have cash sitting in their drawers. I'm talking about like the old chains and earrings and old watches, coin collections, all this crap. Come on. You're never going to use it. You're never going to untangle the stuff. Some of this stuff just sits there for years. Or maybe it's from your mom or dad, and you don't really have sentimental value. It's just sitting there. You can get cash. And it is from a name that you know and trust, David Ellis Jewelry in Cherry Creek, 3rd and Clayton. It's that easy, David Ellis Jewelry. And he is paying top dollar for all of your old precious metals. Even if you're not sure how much precious metal is in it, he will be straight with you. You should check him out. I know David personally. He's been there 40 years. DavidEllisJewelry.com, 303-322-8779. I'm speaking from experience when I tell you about Colorado Pain Care. Now, my pain's not completely eradicated, but I'm well on my way. And it was a combination of things. They started right away with some immediate help to get me over the hump, and then we did a longer range treatment, and I'm doing some physical therapy, and I'm slated for more more treatments. So what you really need to do is check them out. They customize their care to you. Colorado Pain Care, if you're in pain, coloradopaincare.com, 303-GOT-PAIN, 303-GOT-PAIN.
Hey, Mark, on the...
Tom, have you about
with
this ad for Senate Bill 169 about the insurance rates?
Yeah, I'm going to do one.
Okay.
They keep it's from the some chamber of commerce, and they're saying that there's a bill in the Senate that's going to raise insurance rates to everybody, and they want Governor Polis to veto it. And apparently they're saying that there's already laws in place. I wonder if...
Okay, let's look at it. If it's a consumer issue, we should talk about it.
Yeah.
It's Senate Bill 169?
Yes.
All right, I'll be right
It
back.
has something to do with rural.
With everybody's insurance rates.
Well, no, I thought it's a rural.
Yeah, but which chamber of commerce is it?
Grand Junction.
Grand Junction Chamber of Commerce keeps advertising.
What is it, Senate Bill what?
169.
I heard that and stuff like this. So, but I think it's a rural that...
Oh, maybe.
Well, that'd be nice to own a 37-acre lake. That's pretty.
Hey, Brett, how would you like
That's
to be the
nice,
announcer?
man. You could put a nice paddle boat, you could have a little
Announce that
jet
match
ski.
between these two players. It's a pretty big lake.
Yeah, but I'm saying you're not.
You have to be really good.
You just start out apologizing.
Right.
It sounds like they already made one for it. Though. You just go up to the cliff and push it in.
That's funny.
Hey, Mark, you think you can handle announcing this tennis match?
What tennis?
Back and forth between Anastasia Pavlyuchenova, unseeded Barbarella Krejcikova.
No.
Do I have time?
That reminds me of.
How much time do I have?
Big Bang Al. Me Too. What was it?
Me Too Low.
Me Too Low.
No, was it Me Too Low?
Yeah, Me Too Low. Big Bang Ouch.
No, that wasn't Big Bang.
Do you remember that?
I did.
God, that is a fun. That poor newscaster. If I knew him, I'd fucking call him right now and make fun.
Holy fuck.
Holy fook. Holy fook. We Too Low. Big Bang Ouch. He goes, we have the last words from the cockpit here. I wonder if whoever put that up on his, what's that called, a teleprompter? I wonder if whoever put that up got fired.
Oh, no, they were in trouble because they didn't, they talked about that specifically.
Yeah.
No, it was an intern. No, when you type it into the teleprompter. It was the guy that typed it in that did the joke. But I forget what he said about it. I don't know why he did it. I thought he said he was meant to take it out or something.
Oh.
I remember reading about it. It was an intern, though.
Yeah, but at one point, the guy reading it's a moron. No matter what.
It was a woman.
Well, she's a moron.
Wasn't it a woman, I think?
So like Tubin, he thought it was off.
I'm Tom Martino. You are
Troubleshooter 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255, waterpros.net. The best for less. I'm telling you, WaterPros is unbelievable on its pricing and products. And now they have a new portable, a mini water conditioner. It's like $1,500 for the whole house, but it's like for a cabin or for a RV or for something where you want to have conditioning and soft water and the benefits without having to install something. Or a fully installed system in your house is under $2,000. And his prices boggle the mind because the competition starts at $6,000. So if you want wonderful conditioned water that saves your plumbing, help is super for cleaning, no residual, that's waterpros.net. Now, let's keep going. This roofing thing is interesting. All right. Alex said her dad has now passed away. So I want to talk to our estate attorney, Blake Harris, from BlakeHarrisLaw.com, and I want to ask him about it. But let me get this straight first from you, Alex. Okay. Your dad hired them to do labor only, and he hired them last November, and they finished the job, but you say the job sucks, right?
Absolutely.
Are you sure the job would not... First of all, did they get a permit?
I have not received any information on a permit.
Well,
they didn't even have a contract when they sent the lien.
Okay, no permit, and you say, how do you know the job sucks? How do you know enough to know? Did you have someone look at it?
Yes, I've had quite a few contractors come out and look at it. If you go up into the attic, you can actually see the daylight coming through the
ceiling. Did they say it would not pass code?
Yeah. One of the contractors talked to inspector. It's not anywhere near.
Okay. So now we could have what's called a breach of contract. They want to be paid, and with the mechanics lien situation, all they have to do is file. They don't have to prove. So, but what I'd like to know is, are they making a claim against your estate right now for your dad?
Yes. They called in last Wednesday by their attorney and said they're going to try to foreclose on the property by the 24th of this month.
Foreclose on it. So, in other words, do they already have the lien on the property?
Yes.
And they say they're going to foreclose on it. And where is the property? It's in probate right now. Did you actually open probate?
The property's actually been paid for. The house, there's nothing
No,
owed
I'm
on the
asking
property
you,
yet.
the house, your dad owned the house. He passed away. You have to put it in probate to transfer it.
Okay.
Or some other way. That's why we're going to talk to Blake Harris. But you need to tell me, what have you done so far on the estate, Alex? When did your dad pass?
February 21st of this year.
Okay. What did you do with this house?
Currently, it's still in his name. I've been working on trying to get it transferred to mine. I'm the only child. I have no other family.
Then, Alex, you have Blake Harris here, Blake Harris Law. He's right here in Denver. He's a wonderful attorney. He can at least tell you. You can talk to him even off the air if you have to, but let's talk to him now and take advantage of this. So, Blake, if her dad died in February, she's the only living relative. Can she get this house transferred to herself pretty quickly, or does she have to pay that bill? If she thinks she doesn't owe that bill, does she still have to pay it?
You can get the house transferred to you. It is still going to need to be settled during probate, but you should go ahead and start the probate process as soon as possible and try to settle the debt during probate. You will have some leverage in selling the debt once you're appointed as personal representative.
But what about there's a couple things here, and very important issues. First, probate. Does she need full-blown? Can she do a small estate affidavit?
If there is $1 worth of real estate, you cannot do a small estate affidavit.
Okay, so she does probate.
No.
And probate is for titled property to be transferred, right?
Correct.
In the absence of a trust or any other planning that had been done, if nothing had been done, basically probate is to transfer title. Okay, so let's say she wants to transfer title, and is there an existing lien? Yes, there's an existing lien. But there must be some mechanism, Blake, if you disagree with the debt, just because there's a debt, even settling it. What if I say, it's not worth anything, your labor was worth nothing, you did nothing, we have to redo the whole thing. Is that the place to argue it?
Yes, you only have to pay legitimate debt, and you have the right to dispute debts during probate.
How would she go about this? Well, you say no matter what, she needs to get that filed quickly and start transferring the house. During that process, this attorney's going to yell and scream that's money owed. How much do they say is owed, Alex?
So they say on the lien is $7,100, but on the proposal they sent is $6,800. So I'm not exactly sure what exact amount they want.
All right, but here's that's just labor. How many squares? Do you know how many squares this roof was?
I believe it'd be under 30. It's a small 4-bedroom house.
Okay, so anyway, Blake, first thing, she goes through this, then that attorney, let's say you did it, would that attorney contact you and say we're owed money?
Yes, they would file in as creditors to the probate.
And if you oppose the debt, what's the next step? Or does it become, I'm asking you a practical question, does it become stupid to protest it?
If it's a debt of $500, I tell clients just pay the debt. But for something close to $10,000, I would at least attempt to protest it or try to have the court disallow it, or offer a fraction of the money, offer $2,000 to settle.
So, Alex, the thing is, you need, and I don't know, but is it actually heard by a judge, Blake? I mean, who decides if it's a legit debt or not? You will begin by saying that you want to disallow it, and then if they object, then it could end up going in front of the judge that you resolves disputes. But it would be cheaper doing it there in probate than a separate lawsuit, right?
I would not bother with doing it during a separate lawsuit. As the personal representative, you have more power to address the case than you would trying to do it as a separate lawsuit. I would do it during probate, and after someone passes away, it's just harder to collect from the estate, and there's other things that you can say or indicate to a creditor that will give you leverage in settling a debt, explaining that the house may not be sold for a while, or that there's other creditor issues. If you're just dealing with that one creditor, you have that one creditor to negotiate with. If it's in the middle of a probate case, you have reason to say that there's other issues causing you to be unable to pay somebody.
Yeah. So Alex, the best thing for you to do is what I tell people to do every day, and that's 833 Ask Blake. Seriously. So 833 Ask Blake. If you have another question for Blake, can we do it after the break? Let's do that. Hold on, Blake. Mark has a question. And Alex, if you have any follow-up questions. Plus, Steve wants to talk about a Ford dealership. And Liz, she says this 5G tower, there's a problem with it, and more coming up.
I don't even know what made me think of this, but if you're in bankruptcy, if you file, so you ask for the protection, let's just say it's a 7, and you croak, how does that work? Does the trustee participate in the actual bankruptcy? Is the bankruptcy pulled at that point, and the creditors can come after your estate? How the hell does that work? I don't even know why I thought of it.
Because it would absolutely, well, I'll just tell you that there's no reason to go through a bankruptcy, because a state settlement does exactly what a bankruptcy does. Exactly. It sells everything and settles debt.
Yeah, but how about like the exemption that you might have on the house in order to pass it on to kids?
No. You always have. Well, no. Okay.
How about your guns?
No. You can't have a suit when you're dead. I mean,
okay. No, I'm saying if you're already in it.
Yeah, but it's just like
it's not a big deal to even ask them. I just thought of that though.
Okay, but it's good when we're talking about debt, though.
Yeah.
If somebody's thinking about it. The art of Granite should be called just the art of doing countertops the right way on a budget. Now, what you need to do to prove that to yourself is simply call theartofgranite.com, ask about your countertop, whether it be marble, granite, quartzite, whatever you'd like. He does direct stone importer, or you can buy it anywhere on his wholesale account. He'll give you a quote over the phone. It's that easy. And he has a golden showroom you can visit. Give him a call first, 303-386-5919, 303-386-5919. My friend Kurt Rogers has been on the referral list for almost the entire time it's been there. And Kurt Rogers has affordable interest mortgage, AIM for short, AImortgage.net online. He has jumbo loans, conventional loans, FHA, VA, and he has first-time buyer programs. Whatever you need to get into a home, including the new fantastic liquid loan. I want to try to explain that liquid loan as easy as possible. First of all, it is a line of credit that pays off your first. Then any extra equity you can borrow on sits there until you use it. Here's the best part. You can pay it up and down at will. You can even pay it all the way off and then take the money back and pay it all the way off. And every dime you have in the bank counts against your average daily balance for lower interest. Affordable interest mortgage, 720-895-0500, 720-895-0500.
Anybody want a water?
I'm good.
Yes, please.
I'm good.
Make it a little quicker.
So how long did it take you to recover after 2 months in the hospital?
I have a guy who called. He wants to, after hearing me talk about my taste issues with this, he's going to try it because he says
got to the point
it's so weird. I was like, he's like, it's so weird. I have taste and smell issues. He couldn't describe it, I guess. And I'm like, is it distorted? He goes, yeah. He's like, I used to eat these certain mints every day, and now I can't touch them. And I said, let me text you the stuff. He did have COVID in November.
Oh, yeah.
But you know what? People can't
And I had some
describe
underlying lung
it. You know what I
issues, so I
mean?
think that's why
So,
COVID hit me so
anyway.
badly.
Are you doing all right? Do you need anything?
No, I'm doing great, thank you.
Good.
He's getting a lot of airtime, which is good.
Yep.
So, Mark, do you think I should get a commission from Brad? Because I'm telling all these people that I talk to at AARP.
Well, let's see. If he gave you 10% off the $3, he'd owe you a quarter.
Right. But it's really, no, it's really
as a referral.
No, I'm just kidding. I just do it because I think it's a good service, and for these older people, it's for them not to get ripped off, because they get ripped off, all the time. They get these, these text scams and other things, and it's horrible because they call us after the fact, which is really, there's nothing you can do. But if they had SaferNet, they wouldn't even need to call us.
Yeah, and honestly, as grown kids trying to take care of their parents that are not quite savvy on the internet, we get a lot of adult kids saying, "Hey, I need to set my mom on this account," and I think that's the smartest thing in the world, because they don't know, they read a phishing email and think, "Oh my goodness, I get that free," and click on it, and
exactly,
it's over. Yeah.
So let's say we can't help them the first time, but once they get that, then it won't happen a second or a third time.
Right.
And they don't even need to understand it. They just need to put it on there and forget about it, and you won't get scammed.
I'm looking at this. Can you believe this shit? I swear to God, I don't think restaurants are open in California.
No, most of them aren't. I was out there.
Not yet?
Jeez, I can't get over this. How do you fucking eat?
No, they're open, Mark. It depends on, but they have a lot of restrictions.
Everything around this hotel I'm at says temporarily closed.
Won't you go in and out, but then wait for 3 hours to get a stinky burger? Have you seen any of the lines outside the In-N-Out burger?
I won't even bother going there until
I just happened to pass by one.
I can't believe their restaurants are still closed.
Where are you going? What part?
My son said he waited 2 hours. Every 2 hours, it's usually.
Oh my God.
I think you can hop a plane and fly to California and pick up a burger faster than waiting in their line.
You're probably right.
Isn't it weird how only one freezes like that? Isn't that just the
Well, I said
damnedest
there is a
thing?
little ice in there. Yeah, like so it's soft. We got to put it down.
Just a quick update.
Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Welcome to the show. Let's go to the phones and try to help you, help yourself, or give you direct help if we can. And Alex, I hope you understand your dad passed away. Any and all debt of the estate has to be settled, but you don't have to agree that you owe the money, okay? So you could dispute the debt. Okay. So in this case, you can dispute it, and it would end up before a judge, possibly in probate, or you settle it for way less. Let's talk to Blake Harris, attorney at law. Blake, when it comes to debt, when it comes to debts against the estate, something came up that was in our email recently. We wanted to ask, if someone filed Chapter 7 and they were granted protection and all of that, but they haven't, it's not yet done, it was in the middle of a Chapter 7, what would happen if that person dies?
Personal representatives step into the shoes of the individual who passed away, so they should be able to proceed with that bankruptcy proceeding.
Would that case would continue? That case would continue?
I don't know any reason why it wouldn't, and you wouldn't be able to continue through the probate process. So yes, I believe that you could continue with the bankruptcy even in a probate situation.
You've never had that happen?
I haven't had that exact issue come up. I mean, generally, if there's an estate that's bankrupt, nobody comes to me to probate it.
Okay, and you are not obligated to take over an estate in trouble, right?
You are never obligated to probate anybody else's estate. Once you sign up to be personal representative, you can't just walk away from it, but not without court approval. But if you have a family member that they have more debt than assets, don't touch that estate.
Even if they assign you and say, I want you to be the personal representative, you cannot make someone jump into debt. Right.
No, you cannot make someone probate an estate. You cannot.
And that's really important. Thank you. And I'm getting a lot of great, thank you, Blake Harris, 833 Ask Blake, a lot of positive reviews on your article, the Centerfold article on 10 biggest mistakes you make in estate planning or to avoid in estate planning, and that's at 303consumer.com. Download that magazine. And he, by the way, did a great job explaining them very succinctly, the 10 biggest mistakes. Now, Steve, what's going on with you? Hello, Steve. What's happening?
Hey, Tom, I'll try to make this short and sweet. I dropped my truck off to get some work done at a Ford dealership, Siltahart in Broomfield, and they had my truck for 25 days, which was already kind of a pain in the butt because my entire business is my truck.
Why did they have it that long?
They just kept on pushing me along. You know, I think they were putting other trucks in front of mine.
What did you? What were you having done on the Ford truck?
It was something electronic. They needed to change out something electronic. I honestly don't even remember.
All right. So what's the problem now?
At this point. So I went and picked up my truck and got about a mile down the road and realized that my edge tuner for my truck was gone, and my backup camera were gone from my truck. I went back and confronted them at the dealership.
What is your tuner? What do you mean? You mean like the computer?
Yeah, it plugs into the ODB2.
You're talking about the data port computer? Okay, and that helps you get more performance?
It's a diesel truck. Yes, exactly. It's a diesel truck, 7.3-liter diesel.
Got it.
It gives me more performance.
Got it. So the performance computer was missing along with the backup camera.
Yes, yes. It was an aftermarket backup camera that I installed. And they were both hardwired into the truck. And I went back and confronted them, and they went, oh, yeah, well, you know, you were supposed to be notified that 10 days ago, 4 different trucks, yours included, was broken into, and, you know, blah, blah, blah. Well, they never notified me that. And I said, okay, well, then I want reimbursement for this stuff missing. And they go, well, according to our policy, we claim no responsibility whatsoever.
Well, where was it? Hold on. Did they promise you they were going to keep it inside?
No, they didn't. No, I just dropped it off, and they kept it outside, I guess, in their parking lot.
All right, Steve, we've handled this stuff before a lot.
Oh, good.
Yeah, we've handled, but it's not, what I'm saying is we've handled a lot of these similar complaints. And the way it usually comes down is, unless it was an inside job or they contributed to it in some way, you're going to have a tough time because if they're not responsible for a thief unless they helped them or they were negligent in some way. Now, before you say, yes, they were negligent, possibly they were, but did they leave your car unlocked because they would, and if they did, that's pretty negligent. Did they leave it out on the street unlocked? Or what did they do? And did they file a police report? And was it actually...
I filed a police report that day.
No, but did they file a police report when 5 trucks were nabbed? Did they?
4 trucks. But I honestly don't know about that part, whether they did or not.
What's the name of the dealer? What's the name of the dealer again?
Siltahart.
Oh, Siltahart. Okay, right.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, hold on. I think it's worth a phone call to them to see how they're handling it.
Okay.
But you do have insurance that would cover it, I hope. Hold on.
Hold on.
It's not going to be worth the deductible.
Actually, it doesn't come under comp, wouldn't it? It doesn't comp usually a lower deductible.
It's still going to be $500.
Yeah, about $500.
But Siltahart is probably $200.
Is that right?
What do you think they did wrong?
Nothing. Well,
Unless it was one of their employees, nothing.
How come the only thing is if they should file the
left it open? How would they get in and get the tuner?
We can help.
If they didn't,
right.
So you got to think through stuff, bro.
Oh, but like say if they didn't file a report, I think they are.
But how would they even know it was missing?
How did he know that 4 other trucks were broken into?
No. What I'm saying is, how would they have known to file a report on his truck? Not trucks that are missing.
Well, they told him that he was part of the 4.
Yeah, I want to know how they knew.
They told him that he was part of the.
How did they know?
Great question.
How'd they know?
Yeah.
You can unplug it from the data port.
Right. But the backup camera.
HD2 Denver. KHOW Denver, an iHeart radio station, available everywhere.
They just take the outside backup camera.
#1 for music, radio, and podcasts, all in one.
Jeez, it's always done.
There's a problem.
ABC News, I'm Denver Bolton.
The threat from China, a big topic at the weekend G7 summit, and again,
by the end of the year, we'll have our new
NATO
IoT product
NATO
out.
Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg.
I don't know if you remember us talking about that.
But how do you put it on?
So it's a device that plugs into your router, captures the signal from the router.
Relations with
and then
Russia,
redirects all
also on the
IoT
agenda.
products through
Secretary General
our
saying they are at
device
the
that
lowest
encrypts
point.
immediately.
I found a restaurant that was also
One-on-one with Russian President Vladimir Putin.
Found
Israel has a new prime
in
minister.
California, opened by the hotel. The first three that were near the hotel were all closed. I'm like, holy shit.
You know, get a virus on security on it. Outside access. You better go to the store and get a loaf of bread and sandwich.
I'll have Suzanne come with me to make sandwiches. Remember that guy?
Because there's no way to put virus protection.
Can employers force their workers to get the coronavirus vaccine?
What kind of sandwiches you buy?
U.S. District Judge Lynn Hughes has ruled that Houston Methodist Hospital was within its rights to require its employees to get a
And you
could
can
COVID
also
shot.
control it.
So I'm asking questions, how do they know that Trump's
Woodville insisted.
You can give it 2 hours.
Well, he must have.
how did the Ford dealership know? Because they said he was part of 4 trucks that were broken into. How did the dealership know?
Did he say the window or something was broken?
Woodville promises an appeal. Jim Ryan.
So what we like to do, taking reservations.
How do they know that his is part of that?
Because he called us already.
So they just assume.
Send out an
When you assume, you make an ass out of yourself.
When you assume, you make an ass out of the other guy.
Your smart device.
No, you've got to go to the smart device and do the shoot. Change around the signal. So we're going to leave it on signal. You've got to go wherever you originally set up your
Try it.
You know, your internet signal is in the router. Word goes out to the house.
That's creditkarma.com/winmoney. Instant Karma is sponsored by Credit Karma. No purchase necessary. Exclusions and terms apply.
When it goes out to
banking services provided by
self-protecting it in
Member
there,
FDIC. Maximum
everything's
risk
plugged in.
limits apply.
We're capturing and sending that signal to the IoT, so it's protected from the origination of the IoT. So it's
Put it on the bottom.
VPN connection.
There's only one place in that whole fridge that does that. It's the craziest thing.
Quality candidates. His resume is on Indeed. Match your job
So
criteria.
the signal's going out to the devices by five
through our device.
And so if I have
KCAL News Time, 12:03.
something plugged into it, would it just automatically protect you because it's being built before it's even plugged in?
So
higher than it was a month ago.
Why wouldn't it just automatically?
right now, well, what's going to happen is your Comcast is sending out a signal, and that signal will continue to be sent out. We're capturing that signal and going to send out a new signal that's protecting. So if you don't change it and push it through here, it'll still be connected through the Comcast router.
The organization's budget.
We are spending more than $1 million.
The Wi-Fi would be, but not the wired part.
Well, yeah, if it's directly wired.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Most IoT, well, I shouldn't say that. Maybe you're right.
Security cameras.
I know what your issue is more than anything.
All those kind of
I
things.
was really thinking about this. You're very.
I swear.
Hey, what time do you guys open till
So you
tonight?
just simply have to join a new network.
Hello? What time do you guys open till
This
tonight?
report is sponsored by Dairy Queen.
So, I mean, you can get food all the way up till then, right? All right, thank you.
Parkway sounds like activity.
You got the fucking attitude of someone coming for you. Jesus.
Let me tell you, I think it's going to be tough. I never even thought of that.
No, I didn't until, like, the reality is I'm going to be there today. Sure.
For a weekend.
You know what?
At a ridiculous price and see what happens. Here's lucky we're working. So another guy on Facebook said that he has I have 3 open warehouse jobs with my company. Got 5 resumes last month. These are with full-time jobs with benefits. No one showed up for interviews.
It's crazy. It's crazy. You know, Biden's biggest tax just hit us all, man. It's fucking nuts.
What tax?
Inflation.
Oh, yeah.
Literally, that taxes the entire country.
Yeah.
Nice and evenly, too, I will say.
Yeah, but it hurts the government too, because now they're,
Hurts everybody.
Well, it hurts the lower income.
But their bonds,
It hurts everybody.
but their bonds, now they play more on their bonds.
But you could, upper middle class people can afford it. It's the lower income people that have.
I know.
that are gonna hit
And
by it.
my point is Biden said he'd never tax anybody under whatever, 300,000, 200, 400, whatever it was. He's fucking taxing everybody right now. I bet gas in California is over $4.
Oh, absolutely, I'll bet you, yeah.
Might even be $5 now.
Yeah, because it's $3 here.
You know, when you fill up a Honda Civic and it runs you $40, you start thinking.
Oh, because this is an old friend of mine, and he's giving me a great deal on it. And he did pretty well.
I don't like the strategy of putting it on a ridiculous price and see what happens.
Well,
You want to do almost the opposite.
Not the, right, something like that, but what you don't want to do is then ever have to lower the price. If it shows that you're lowering the price,
When you were in the Marines,
we're not
did you
going to
ever
put
go,
down
oh,
more
it's Miller time?
till the fall.
Because your last name is Miller.
He said, let's see what happens.
How about in high school?
Our plan was to do it anyway. He said,
I got a Miller time.
this is the best yourself.
Oh, Mark,
Yeah, great price for it.
it's a sign. I had a D. Miller genuine draft.
Now, Tom Martino, the Troubleshooter.
Hi, Tom Martino here. Welcome to the show. 303-713-TALK. 303-713-8255. What is happening in your life? This hour brought to you by Century RV. That's right, Century RV. If you want a wonderful experience with an RV, Century RV, they have a repair facility, new and used as well. 2 locations just north of 6th Avenue between Kipling and Sims down here west of Denver, and then also at the 240 exit to Longmont on I-25, CenturyRV.com. 303-453-1111. Let's talk about this 5G tower and sewer line. And that sounds like 2 different weird things, but here's what happened. The tower, I believe, was put in, and then she had sewer problems and wants to tie them together. And we had her on before, but we didn't finish. Liz, welcome. And
thank you, Tom.
Let's talk about this. So you think when they were putting in the 5G that possibly they caused you a sewer problem because the sewer line was cracked there?
Well, to be honest, after I spoke with you last week, I did go back to my sister and get the details.
Yeah.
And so I have the details here. It shouldn't take more than 30 seconds if you want.
Go ahead.
Approximately 2 years ago, they came home and there were people, like workers, kind of digging up their lawn close to right next to the curb. And they didn't think too much of it. And, they just, ironically, they just figured someone was doing some maintenance or something. About a year after that, they started having some sewer problems. They had Garvin's come out. They owned the video. Garvin's did find some other sewer issues because the house is older, but they also noted that there was a problem near the curb. They didn't think too much about it, and they certainly didn't connect the 5G at that point. They had some pipes replaced under, that Garvin recommended. They had that work done, and potentially what happened after the pipes were replaced under the home is the water flow was improved throughout the home, and shortly thereafter, their sewer pipe was backing up or was a huge problem. So they had Applewood Plumbing come out, and Applewood employees said to them, you have that someone has cut your sewer pipe. And this was approximately October of 2020.
Yeah, but hold on a sec now. How many? I need to stop. 2 years ago, the 5G tower went in, right?
Yep, and it's 20 feet from the home.
I get it.
Yep.
Now, what do you mean cut the sewer line? Not crushed it, but cut it.
Yeah, there was a sharp cut in the sewer line. And I was told that this home of my relatives does not have a basement, and so the sewer line is closer. it's only about 4 feet down, whereas like my sewer line is maybe 8 feet down because I do have a basement. This is just what I was told. So either way, what we're calling for is they are having trouble finding out what company put the 5G tower in.
Well, I'm not sure you can go after a 5G company 2 years later. I think it's going to cost more to try to find them guilty of this than to replace it. But there's a whole bunch more to this. How old is the house?
60, 70 years old.
Okay, how is the sewer line 70 years old?
Yes, but what I was told is they take ownership of replacing the sewer line to the street. Where they are
who takes ownership of replacing the sewer line?
My family member who this happened to.
Right.
I'm calling
their service line. That's right. The service line is their responsibility to the main line or the tap. The main line is right.
So their issue is that, and they were told this by the company that replaced it, they had to spend quite a bit more money to replace it from the curb to the street because, and normally when you replace a sewer line, you don't have to do that, I guess. But they did have to do that, and, they were told by the people who did it that there was a laser knife cut in the sewer line, which right along the curb.
Okay. I don't disagree there was a cut. The point is, first of all, do you have the old pipe as evidence?
I don't know if they have it or not.
Well, this is after the sewer line company already replaced everything. You want to go back 2 years before this. It's already been done. This company doesn't even have the opportunity to go out or anyone to examine it. So we're taking somebody at their word. We don't. I'm just
take pictures.
Well, okay, Suze, what were you going to say?
I was just going to ask Tom. Let's say they found Verizon or whoever it was with the 5G tower guilty of messing up the sewer line. Wouldn't they only owe a 70-year sewer line back to them?
In most cases, there's depreciation. I would argue that if a sewer line, it's either broke or not. So I would say probably not, unless they've had problems before with the sewer line, which they're indicating they did. Were all the problems due to this 5G tower? In other words, have they ever done any other sewer work at all on here?
They had no problems at all.
Okay, then I would say that if the 5G tower was responsible, they should have spliced in a new piece right there. They would have been responsible for that. Did they replace the sewer line from the house all the way out?
Yes.
Well, even if they were guilty, they're only responsible for 5 feet of it. Tell me why a company would have to pay to dredge up the entire sewer line from the house to the street if they put a cut in one section of it?
Well, the way I understand it is they paid $10,000 extra to replace the sewer line from the curb to the street.
Okay. Now, if there was
the cut in the line.
Okay. If the 5G company was found to be negligent and caused the damage, they would be responsible for that part of the damage. If that part of the damage happens to be $10,000 because of where it is, that's possible. However, being 4 foot down is not code. So I don't understand how it was only 4 feet down, and the BS you told me about the crawl space and versus the basement, you still have to put sewer lines at a certain depth, but maybe it was grandfathered in 70 years ago, for goodness sakes. Who knows? I mean, it may be the way it was. And I'm not saying they get a pass. They don't get a pass. If they broke the sewer line, they're responsible for it. I think your problem is going to be proving they did it. I mean, it's hard to go back 2 years alone, let alone go back with a closed hole, and it's all done. And then to prorate 10 grand, how much was the entire sewer?
They paid 25 grand with the whole thing.
I don't listen. I'm not going to cast any stones here, but I will guarantee that was overpriced to begin with by a huge amount. Now, if you got a true estimate on that, how many feet was it, and where? I mean, how many feet are we talking for $25,000.
And I'd have to go back to them and call
Okay,
you
I'd
again,
like
but
to have, where is it? What part of town? I want one of my experts to look and see, first of all, what it would have cost, and then how much extra that would have been before you even go off half-cocked. You need to know exactly what you're dealing with. I'm not believing the numbers you're giving me. 25 and 10,000 of it is just because they had to go out to the street. Now, it is true that it's more expensive. If they could go just to the curb and hook up, it would have been better. But no company would have done that ever. Ever. If you had a sewer line done, you would have never gone just to the curb, ever, and hooked up to a 70-year-old line. So I don't know who's even telling you that. And another thing that doesn't make sense, how can it be a 70-year-old line and you said there was a cut in it? They didn't have PVC. They didn't use, what do you mean a cut? You don't cut a clay or iron. So what was cut? You said you had photos. I want to see them. I don't understand how you make a razor cut in clay or in metal because they did not have PVC. So this is getting more and more weird. It must have been replaced before. I don't know. So we got to investigate.
It's simply not a walk in the park. I mean, how the fuck do you do a razor cut on a 70-year-old? No, really, how do you do that?
So then you got a sewer line back there that was, they call it. Is it probably a terracotta?
It's called ductile. It's iron.
Yeah, but they don't cut it with a razor.
No, of course not. It's iron, though, back in the 50s.
It was either iron or clay.
Or that.
Dan, they didn't have plastic.
No, I'm not saying plastic.
Let's talk about ideal home loans for your next ideal home loan. I'm very picky on when I suggest a lender, and I have personal experience with Ideal, and I know they put you in a better position than you were in before you got the loan. That is what their mission is. Ideal home loans for your next ideal home loan, and I don't say that by mistake. Here's what I mean. The interest rate guarantee alone is a reason to go with them. If rates go down just a little over the next 2 years, they will refinance you free of charge. Call them for details. Also, with Ideal Home Loans, they are direct mortgage lenders. So they loan their own money, basically, and they have lower costs and lower rates because of it. And they invite you to shop that. In fact, they will do free second opinions on existing applications if you don't like the progress. You're not tied to any lender. Ideal Home Loans for your next ideal home loan. 303-867-7000. I have a whole house fan. I've used it last night, used it this morning on these really hot days. As soon as the sun starts going down, you put it on, and it will clear out your home. You don't have to run the air for hours and hours and hours. See, you don't have to turn your air down or up or keep it on all day. You can turn your air off, come home, and cool your house down in 10 or 15 minutes, then turn your air on. Your work's less. I'm telling you firsthand experience. QCColorado.com. I have a whole house fan. I have two, and they work. And they save money. I have saved in one house 90% on my air conditioner, on the other one about 80% or so. Because different houses are different. You're going to save money. You're going to have cool, wonderful air. Installation is less than 2 hours. And it's remote controlled, so you don't have to wire through the walls. QCColorado.com, 303-800-3419, 303-800-3419. Okay, this is going to sound crazy because I told you I have QC, right? And now I'm going to tell you, yes, IV, Rocky Mountain IV, they're coming tonight. I have them monthly. When I say it, I really mean it. This is great IV therapy. You can do it for vitamins, for dehydration. You can do it for trauma. You can do it for hangovers. You can do it for migraines, or you're just feeling sick. I do it for general health. I do NAD, Rocky Mountain, IVmedics.com, coming to my home. And guess what? It doesn't cost you any more than going to one of these hydration bars. Why would you bother going somewhere when it can be done right at home for the same price? 720-987-2155. I just made my appointment this morning for this afternoon. 720-987-2155.
Find me to get your business moving. Sign up with iHeart Ad Builder.
Yeah, she said it was like a laser cut.
Just hang by the phone.
You
I'll
don't
get you up
laser
here in a
cut.
Well, does she have
few.
the
Would you
picture?
get this guy on?
I want to see the photo.
Oh, Eric Joss?
I
You
want to see the
remember him?
photo.
Yeah,
Get him on.
I remember too much.
He's got a,
What is it? I don't,
it's a problem with a hot tub. It sounds pretty good, actually.
okay.
You know, I got to say something about Dan.
Wait, I was just getting ready to talk to him. Okay, from last.
God damn it.
Daniel, you know the passport one you sent me, the voicemail you sent me? Would you remember when that was left? Because I think my updates are getting crossed. I was told by the caller she had an appointment this morning.
I got to call the DA. The DA called me back.
It was done over the weekend.
You think it was over the weekend?
What they did?
It might have been, well, let's see.
I tried to look.
Did you listen to it?
I listened to it, and she was like wanting to know the status, but the guy that called in for her said she had an appointment this morning at 9:30.
Okay.
So maybe they just got crossed.
Unless it was Friday. It could have been after Friday, after
Yeah, I will text her and ask her. It's not a big deal.
It would have Friday.
I got to remember to get out of your website like every time we talk.
It was a year and a half ago that Denver store manager Lisa first noticed something was wrong with her gums. They were always open, just a new eye. Lisa made an appointment with a regular dentist who urged her to see a periodontist.
So I did, and the news wasn't good. I had gum disease, and if I didn't do something about
Okay,
it, I could actually start losing my teeth.
Lisa had heard about the so-called cut and
I'm going to see, man. Let's just put it that
She
way.
wanted no part of it. So when she found Dr. Deanna Snitzer,
I got to call this DA back.
online, she called.
Did he ain't from where, Mark?
I was nervous at first, but Dr. Snitzer put me at ease right away.
The one where the guy's not moving the house yet.
Oh, okay.
Or the shell.
Also very professional.
What's your pet?
Just painless as she said it would be. Now my whole mouth feels great, and Dr. Snitzer is my regular dentist.
Dr. Snitzer can be your full-time dentist, too. Call 303-989-6500 for your free consultation. That's 303-989-6500. Or visit laser.com.
Oh, God.
This is Chris Collinsworth. Here's what's trending on the iHeart Sports Network, presented by DraftKings Sportsbook.
Major League Baseball released its first standings update on All-Star voting. Phase 1 of the fan began June 3rd and will end on June 24th. Top 3 vote getters at each position, plus 9 outfielders move on to Phase 2. Fresh off of getting swept in Cincinnati, the Rockies begin a 3-game series against the Pirates with Austin Gomber on the mound. And former Seahawks linebacker Shaquem Griffin is among several players.
Oh, God, how many messages can I have?
Download the top-rated DraftKings Sportsbook app today and use code SPORTS for a special offer when you sign up. That's code SPORTS for a special offer when you sign up, only at DraftKings Sportsbook. Tell your smart... All right, nothing there. Heart Radio. Then you can hear news and talk that impacts your life.
Getting 630 K-Power from iHeartRadio.
Denver's talk station. Available on over 2,000 devices.
Hi, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Welcome to the only show of its kind anywhere in the universe, where we are solving problems, answering questions, and taking complaints. Don't forget to download your consumer magazine, 303consumer.com. Great articles and great deals. 303consumer.com. You can download a digital copy. Let's talk about your problems, questions, and complaints. The whole theme of this show is helping and informing, and what the hell, we have fun along the way. Now, where did the drain problem go? Where did she go? Are we investigating this off the air, Suze? Did she hang up or what?
She hung up.
She hung up. Okay, listen, you know, you could hang up, or you could exactly follow what I'm telling you and probably be better off. But you're pissed off, I'm sure, because I'm not going along with your narrative. It makes no sense that an old-fashioned pipe, 70 years old, is laser cut. I don't even know what that means, so I'd like to see the photos. If you want to cooperate, we can help you build a case. What I first do is try to tear down your complaint to see if it holds water. And then we try to help you tenaciously. We help you. We solve problems. But if you can't undergo the scrutiny, well, then the hell with it. I can't help you. Joe, what's happening, Joe?
Hi, Tom.
Hey.
I was listening. This is a situation, and then I'll tell you how it's going so far.
Okay.
My wife and I were on Interstate 70 heading from Kansas City to Denver. There was an accident, and it was 10:30 in the morning, beautiful day. Highway Patrol was pulling everybody over to the right, and I'm driving a new Tundra truck and a new travel camper, and a Class A motorhome hit us from behind, never touched their brakes, doing 75 miles an hour.
Why'd they do that?
I think she fell asleep.
Holy crap. And so you got rear-ended on the interstate, and what did it do to you?
Well, some back problems, but, fortunately, the camper took the brunt of the hit, and it just blew up in a million pieces, and I think that sort of cushioned the blow to the point where my wife and I walked away from it.
Now, did it cause you to run off the road or flip over or anything?
No, but the truck and the camper jackknifed, and then a car slid up beside us. But no, we stayed on the highway.
Good. So the truck is the truck damaged?
The truck, I think, is totaled. I'm waiting to hear from Geico about whether they perceive it to be repairable. If anything, it probably needs a new frame. It's just a huge mess.
Okay, so the other guy got a ticket?
I'm sure she did. Geico told me on the phone and also in an email that they're taking 100% responsibility for the accident. So there's no question there. I called them, and I was assigned 4 different adjusters that I'm supposed to negotiate with, one for the camper, one for the truck, one for the contents in the camper and truck, and one for any medical stuff. So it was 19 days ago. It was May 25th when this happened, and so far I've heard from the guy on the camper who says that they're willing to settle for about 60% of what it would cost me to replace the camper.
Well, you don't. Hold on. Let me just dispel some myths. You're not entitled to replacement value. You're only entitled to actual cash value, what they took from you. There is no replacement value guarantee. The only replacement value with insurance is when you pay for that coverage, and no vehicle I know of has replacement coverage. Only homeowners has replacement. So that right there doesn't matter if it's 60%, 80%, 40%. It's whatever it was worth. Okay? So you have to try to establish what that camper was worth. As far as the contents, the same thing. Actual cash value. When it comes to the truck, go ahead.
Even though the other person is 100% liable, I still have to take a discounted amount that I can't go out and get a...
You do not, hold on. You do not have to take a discounted amount, Joe. If I knocked half an apple out of your hand, I would have to give you 1/2 apple. There's no discount involved. It's what it's worth. Joe, I don't care. Listen, man, I mean, you want them to buy you a replacement. They don't have to. They just have to pay you what yours is worth. Now, if you're telling me you can't find a replacement close to yours, then that's telling me they're not paying you what yours was worth. But that's all they owe you. Yes, even if the guy was 100%, because all they took from you is what they took from you. They didn't take a new one from you. They took a used one from you. Now, if it's slightly used, it has to be what it is worth. That's all.
Both the camper and truck were 2020 models.
Okay.
In like 6 months.
Okay, then they should pay you what they're worth. That's up to you to establish and fight them, and I can help you. But what is your truck worth? What would you get on trade? What could you sell it for? A real deal, not what you replace it for. What you can.
Now,
go ahead.
I could sell the truck for probably $45,000 to $50,000 right now. There's no Toyota Tundra trucks anywhere in the state. Every Toyota has a horrible problem shipping.
If you can get comparables, on your truck, then you can get 40 or 50,000 if that's what it's worth.
I've got comparables. I've done a mountain of research.
Okay, here's what I suggest you do. Does Petty do this too, right?
I think so, Tom.
Okay, I would call Petty Details on a referral list. Now, what they do is an independent valuation of everything you've had. And they will give you a true price based on real research that holds up in court. That's your first step, okay? To see if they're really screwing you or not. And this guy's
number for them?
Hold on, we'll get it. She'll put it up in a sec. PettyDetails.com. They're on a referral list, and we're going to get you that number. She's looking for it right now. They're really important because insurance companies will always try to screw you, but you're using the wrong term of replacement, okay? Although it's not really wrong, if you're trying to replace it with the same thing you have, then you're correct.
I told them I would happily take a 2020 camper just like I had.
Good.
There are none around.
But you do understand, if you can never find one, they don't owe you for a 2021. You understand that, right?
Right.
But
in kind, I think, is the term.
It's whatever you lost, man. It's whatever you lost. They owe you, and they're going to try. Listen, they're going to try to get around that. They're going to lowball you every single time because they're scumbags. I'm telling you, insurance isn't our friend. Not even our own policy is our friend. You know that. I know that. We all know that.
In fact, when they gave me an offer that was really low and I didn't like it, and Geico said, well, why don't you just call State Farm and try and work with them?
You mean with your own company?
With my own company, yeah. I didn't want to start the whole process all over again.
Here, listen. You should not be negotiating with the other company at all. And I would have gone to my own company. That's why you have insurance, and then let them subrogate. But you're going to have the same trouble with your own insurance. All right. You can always tell these guys at Geico, listen, if I don't settle with you in a certain number of days, I'm going to sue the other driver. They're the ones responsible to me, not you.
I've talked to her. I've talked to her on the phone. She has full coverage plus $1 million umbrella policy.
Right. Well, listen, Joe. Do you have any personal injuries, by the way?
I called you earlier, and I had to hang up because I was going into a physical therapy session for my back, and now I'm back out in the parking lot.
You're crazy. You are just nuts for not using professionals. You are going about this so wrong. You need Petty Details. Hold on. You need Petty Details, and you need John Fuller. That's what you do. You need to call John, even if you don't hire him.
Whoa.
You need to call him to talk to him.
He got hit by a Class A vehicle at 70 miles per hour.
Right.
And he's handling the medical stuff himself.
Right.
Moron.
Yes, exactly. Now, hold on. I'm giving you two numbers, Joe, when we come back, okay? And then I'm going on to other calls. Hang on.
You gotta be gentle. What do you even say to that?
You just said it. Moron.
He's probably got damage to his ligaments. Ligaments that are going to last forever. Go ahead, I'll get it.
Now, impact traffic. This report is sponsored by...
You fire it off as normal. You know that, Amp, right?
He knows. 10:30.
I can't believe that. A Class A. People don't realize those ligaments and stuff, as you get older, you can have a hell of a lot.
What's a Class
Your
A?
arthritis could be 10 times.
It's just a big motorhome. It's where you drive the motorhome.
Okay.
It's like 30 feet plus long.
Okay, so it's not...
And probably 20,000 pounds or more.
Wow. So the guy is lucky that he had a camper behind him.
You know what, Dan? Yeah, I can't get over it. The guy's screwing himself.
You're screwing me! Well, can you imagine if he didn't have the camper behind him? He would have really been.
All I know is he's going to a doctor.
Also, he had the camera. I didn't miss the first part. The truck hit him from behind.
Wasn't a truck, it was a Class A. Calm down.
Call 1-800-GET-WINDOWS to get 25% off.
Zero Res is the carpet cleaner I use. Zero Res Denver. I use it because I know that technology works. What do I mean by technology? It's water. Now, before you say, Tom, what do you mean water? It's super alkaline charge or whatever. I'm just trying to tell you, it's proprietary. I don't know the exact formula, but I know it cleans. And you know it's scientifically proven and no residue whatsoever, and it stays cleaner longer because there is no residue to attract more dust and dirt. I love these guys. The carpets dry fast. They stay clean. They can do spot treatment. They can do rooms. ZeroResDenver.com. They can also do tile and grout. Yes, and they can do upholstery even with this wonderful system. And they've extended the Spring Clean Special, $33 a room. 3-room, no maximums, $33 a room. ZeroResDenver.com, 303-471-5150.
Towards the end of this spot, I'm going to give you a deal that's unbelievable, but I want to tell you a little bit about 888 Heating, and here's the deal. These guys, if something breaks, let's say your AC's out, it's making noise, or maybe it's not blowing as cold as last year, when they come out, they'll actually give you an honest price to fix it. And what I mean is they're not going to automatically tell you, oh, it's 15 years old, you need a new one. They're going to give you a price every time on how to fix your unit, and the price is going to be great. But check this special out they have right now. You get a brand new air conditioner, you get a brand new furnace, you get a whole home humidifier, and you get 5 years to pay with that's zero interest. You're not going to beat that deal. It will be going away soon. Here's the number, 888, an easy phone number, 888 Heating. What their website is, yep, you got it right, 888heating.com.
Don't miss the Trading Group Show, Saturdays.
Yes, I sure do. Yes, I sure do, all the time. Okay, no problem.
I wonder why that wouldn't be up there. I don't understand what he's saying.
I should do all of them, man. I should do them.
Okay, let's see.
I don't know. Should I contact them or should you?
You won't find a better price. Definitely would have more clout if you did.
You got to tell me the ones that were. Is it just those two?
I'll take a note of it. I'll write down this.
Yeah, the ones that you think should be. Let's talk about it. Yes, anything name recorded live or.
All right, 10 seconds. Share note. It's short, 30 seconds.
Name it. What you're looking for, you'll find at the Sharper Drive. Whether you have good credit or bad credit, they're there for you.
Is he saying they were put in as recorded?
Yes.
Oh my.
Sheridan Auto Tech is one of the greatest repair shops. I have known Kevin Calkin for so long. We use him as an expert on this show, and you just can't go wrong. I call him Uncle Kevin. He is so friendly. He has his customers over like 2,000 or more that are like family in business more than 20 years. Honesty, experience, knowledge, convenience, value. In addition to all the auto maintenance, he took over Lakewood Auto Electric, so they have all the electronics expertise and equipment. 303-455-7242. 455-7242, SheridanAutoTech.com.
Thinking of selling your home and you want to save thousands of dollars in commissions? You have to hear about this new program that will save you thousands.
It'll save you thousands, if not hundreds of thousands.
I want to see a good-looking dog.
I know that. Wait, go look back.
Whose dog
It
is
disappeared. It is a good look. That is a beautiful dog. Real seriously. It looks like a show dog.
Oh, it does look nice. It's not as nice
You ever
as
see
my
it?
dog.
Well, your shepherd looks good. I mean,
Fuck yeah, he looks
that's a whole different. That's a whole different breed.
Yeah,
I'll tell you though, when I take him for a walk on the Cherry Creek Trail, he's a squirrel or a rabbit. He goes nuts. And there's 100 squirrels on a walk. I mean, I'm constantly pulling this dog back, but I guess it's his innate nature.
Call Gay and Sarah to learn more about this.
What are you doing?
Hey, in your face.
This is my notebook here.
In your face, bro.
Did you talk to Miles about a ride to the airport?
No, tell him he's
Because
bringing
he's
me.
like, just so you know, going to Matthews for the afternoon and going to the pool, which means having a brew.
Tell him he's got to drop me off at the airport though.
I need you to take him to the airport.
ASAP, no blues.
I can take you. Well, I can't because I can't cancel my appointment.
Yeah, I know. To see what he says. And I don't want to bum him out on his day off, but I guess he could always go get his own place to live.
How old is
There's always that.
He just turned 21. The guys went on their Vegas trip. Remember that party scene?
So he has no legal right to stay there. He's an emancipated adult. You can threaten him with anything you want.
That is my baby boy you're talking about there. Don't even give him any ideas,
What did you have him when you were 10 years old?
He's a good, I did. Considering I'm like 29 and holding.
All right, guys, back in. Here you go.
Tom Martino here. I have SaferNet with us. I got a question about SaferNet. After the 44 days, is it automatically billed or do you have to renew it?
No, it just automatically happens.
Okay. So when people give a credit card up front, they're not being charged for the first 44 days if they put Tom in the promo code, right?
That's exactly right.
Okay. And the free version they want to know, is it for one device?
It is free for as many devices as they want for 44 days. So.
Okay, wow. Okay, that's cool. And it can be used on phones, tablets, laptops, anything that runs an app in the background.
Exactly.
Okay. And then coming out later, we'll talk about some other time, I think we should, unless you actually have it available now. You don't, right? The new internet thing?
No, it's coming out later this year.
We're going to talk about that later because I don't want to confuse things, but they're coming out with a router attachment for other things in your house, which they call the Internet of Things. It can get quite complicated. But anyway, SaferNet.com, and the number is SaferNet.com.
Just actually go to SaferNet.
Oh, actually, I'd never give a number. You're right. SaferNet.com, Tom in the promo code. So that's why. And by the way, that is for sure the site to go and download it directly. I need to take some stuff right now because it happens over and over and over. We got two things going on. We got Steve, the dealership thievery thing. Then we have Joe with the Geico Insurance. Joe, I'm going to give you out the numbers, then I'm going to that other call. But Joe, here's the deal. Don't try to handle this. This is a very complicated accident. You will leave thousands of dollars on the table. Thousands, if you do not retain counsel. Seriously. And if you do not talk to petty details. Now, so for petty details, they will assess your property damage. And they will give you real information that you can fight with. Okay? To get you more money on your property. That's pettydetails.com. Also, 214-227-2154. 214-227-2154. What were you going to say?
Are they out of Texas by chance?
They are.
Yes.
While we're on hold, I searched I got the website up.
He's for real. He's for real. Okay? This guy's for real, and you need the kind of information he will produce to help you. Then for John Fuller, free questions on the phone, call him, and he'll tell you the God's honest truth if he can do you any good or not. He doesn't want to mess with you if he doesn't think he can help you. Seriously, you can tell in a heartbeat because he will tell you up front. You tell him about the accident and how they're screwing you around. It's 303-597-4500. Free legal advice when you're injured. 303-597-4500. Now, Steve, on the Ford dealership, again, I went back and I was researching some old cases. I juggle all this stuff while we're on the air. And here's what happens. 9 times out of 10, you're going to end up paying it through your insurance. Why? Because it's not, if it's a true crime and the dealership or the store or the repair shop or wherever things happen, if it's not their fault, they can't be held responsible. So just because it happens doesn't make it negligence. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So what do you think might have contributed where they were negligent or owe you money for the stolen? Listen, I have something in mind right now. You said your computer was taken, which plugs into the data port, and your backup camera. Doesn't that data port connection require that you open the truck to get to it?
Yep.
Well, was the truck damaged? Did they break the window?
No, it was not. It looked like they either left it unlocked or something.
Well, of course they must have left it unlocked. So, I mean, how do they say it's not their fault if they left your truck out there unlocked?
They say that there's no was unlocked.
Okay.
Although there's no evidence of break-in whatsoever.
If there's okay, then how did they know your truck was even hit?
I honestly don't know that part. They never disclosed that part to me.
You know, by the way, Silterhar of today it's nothing like Silterhar of yesterday. That's a very old dealership, but I have a feeling they have new owners. The backup camera, where was that mounted?
It was mounted up in the semi-dash.
Where was the camera itself mounted?
Oh, well, the screen, the display for the camera is what was stolen. The camera itself is attached to the license plate.
Wait a minute. So they got inside your truck?
Yes.
And, well, then it was left unlocked. I mean, otherwise you'd have broken windows.
Yes, that's what I think.
Well, okay. What do you mean think? It's got to be an open door.
Well,
so
they could have jimmied the lock or something. I mean, I don't know.
You mean like a Slim Jim?
Something.
We're going to investigate. Deputy Doc, you want to call up there, man?
I'll be happy to.
This is serious, man. Hold on. We're going to call Silterhar. They can't just say, well, it's not our fault. We got 5 trucks hit. You morons. I mean, if you left the cars unlocked, there's a problem. There's a big problem.
Hey, Brad, I was going to ask you a question. How do people know how effective SaferNet? Do you have a daily report, or do you have to click on? In other words, if I have SaferNet, right, and I go home and I was hit by 30 viruses, how do I know how many viruses you protected me from?
You go to your dashboard and there's a real-time look all the time.
Okay, so people can find out. They can, after 44 days, they go back to holy smokes. There was 743 attempts to.
What? What are you guys looking at?
No, I'm talking about.
I was talking about a dash.
So you'll do that, right? They'll know how many attempts were made.
You bastard!
Exactly. You can see it every day.
Okay.
Bastard!
I heard that. That's a good thing to talk about, Tom. That you can find out how many attempts were made. That's what I was going to
water
ask.
scan. And it
Because
takes
you go
off.
44
The guy's
days
not
and
ready
you say,
to go.
well,
And
how do I know
you
SaferNet to be any good?
bastard. And he goes,
Now
what do
we
you
have an
say?
answer.
Go faster.
About how many.
Okay, guys. Granite Liquidator sells to the public at wholesale. You pay the same as a contractor would. Buy your stone first. Why would you do that? Because everything surrounds the stone. You can change paint jobs, and you can change, cabinet doors, and you can change other things and accessories. You don't change that stone often. So buy around the stone. Buy the stone first. Entering any natural stone in slabs at Granite Liquidators to you at wholesale. And here's the best part. You will have it there with your name on it. They'll hold it for you until you're ready to install it. Your contractor can pick it up there. GraniteLiquidators.com. The yard is up at 5075 Tabor Street in Wheat Ridge. So you can walk and see the actual slab you're buying, not just that tiny little sample. And you can really be sure it's what you want. 303-835-9745, but you can find out everything at GraniteLiquidators.com. A mortgage is a big deal, all right? Now, it's not a once or twice in a lifetime like it used to be thing. People, refi when they're supposed to. With affordable interest mortgage, you may get a loan you'd never want to refi called the liquid loan. Of course, they have conventional if you want it. They have kinds of loans, FHA, VA, they even have jumbo loans. But this liquid loan is so unique. It's a line of credit that pays off your first but the rest of your equity sits there in case you need extra money. Then you can draw it out. Or you can pay it all down and draw it out. It's liquid. In fact, if you keep, say, a few grand in the bank during the month to pay bills, that money in the bank counts against your average daily balance, which keeps your interest even lower. Find out more. AIMortgage.net, 720-895-0500.
A normal summer coming our way. Maybe it's
you want to see right here.
To fix up your home with Windows.
So this is on the dashboard. This is what's blocked. So this is what's
now K&H, they don't want. Wait, no, that should be live. That should be live.
Stuff behind the
You know, I'm really amazed that they're doing this.
So these are the things behind the scenes that were blocked. So we're blocked, and you can see this is just from 12:08. So an hour ago.
That's amazing. And what computer was that? Is that your personal or?
That's this.
Oh, your cell phone? So all those attempts are made on your cell phone in the past hour?
Yeah.
Wow.
But those kind of things happen all the time.
So how come I assume it's just I would get the same number of attempts, right?
It depends on the activity that you do, but usually yes.
So, but how come none of them went through my phone?
How come what?
All those attempts were blocked by my phone. Does Verizon do some of the blocking?
Do you have SaferNet on there?
No, I don't yet.
Well,
I just got a new phone.
That's the thing, is you're probably getting, people are accessing your phone all the time, gathering information.
Oh, really? Thank you.
What was that K&H shown as?
Taking information from you.
Interesting.
Okay, got it. You just slowing you down.
Right.
You think that was supposed to be live too? Thomas?
Yes, I know it was. I'm taking care of it.
You'll find a better price for the extensive work and deep anywhere.
You should have went with my freaking jingle. It's way better than that. Mine was off that Mac the Knife. When the clock ticks midnight and your sewer breaks, yeah, you need it fixed.
That's another whole career for you, singing jingles.
Oh man, I'm a jingler.
They get paid probably
I'm
a lot of money for
gigolo.
that.
Be like, who's that guy?
That's how we met. Suzanne hired me as a gigolo.
You'd be like the guy in 2.5 Men.
Oh God, I love that show.
Hey, maybe
Mark made his money.
That was one of the best damn. Yeah, he did. That was one of the best damn shows
It
ever.
was. Maybe Mark can be a new Batman anti-hero.
Remember that kid?
Jingler.
Remember that kid went insane towards the end, like in real life.
Oh, back then?
He didn't want to work anymore, and he was like, "Oh, and it's against my religion. We shouldn't be doing this show." Talk about really screwing up some
Which religion was
free
it?
money. I have no idea.
He's probably a Scientologist.
He's probably making a middle of the year.
Yeah,
Playing the fat kid.
Oh, more than that.
Well, actually, when he got bad, he wasn't bad no more.
Yeah, he lost money.
He got
Or
taller.
lost weight. He lost money.
He was pretty funny as a little fat kid.
The only thing about
Oh, he was great when he was little.
Tom Martino, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Let's go to Chris now. Chris, welcome to the show. What's happening with you, Chris?
Hey, Tom, I got a question for you. I had noticed today some fraudulent account activity on my checking account, and so it was from Capital One. I called Capital One. They confirmed that it was fraudulent, so I called my credit union. Now, my credit union is telling me that these withdrawals have been happening randomly since June of 2020. I didn't notice them, but this time I noticed them because there was 4 $80 withdrawals in the 14-day time frame.
Chris, they will go back. They will go back a certain number of time, but it's a matter of policy that you agreed to. I know that I convinced a company to go back a year, but it's very difficult to go back before that.
And this is a checking account.
What did you mean by withdrawals?
So they did an automatic withdrawal from my checking account. So my bank says they have my account number and my routing number.
Yeah, that's right. And contrary to what people believe, this is something that people just don't understand about banking. You don't have to rob a bank. You never have to use a gun and a knife. All you have to do is know someone's account number and routing number, and you can now go and take the money. You can just take it. You need no signature. You need no authorization. Of course, you're breaking the law. You're stealing, but you get away with it because banks will do nothing about it. It's the best kept secret in banking. Just take the money. It's yours. And people say, oh, Tom, that can't be true. It's true. We had a guy call us and challenged us.
Truck driver Lee.
Was it Lee?
It was.
He challenged us. We showed him.
He gave us off the air his account number and his routing number.
We can take whatever you have in there.
And we took money out.
So here's the deal. However, because banking is so loose, they will grant you credit back if you tell them it's fraud, and as long as there's not extenuating circumstances that look fishy. But just go back. They'll go back. If you make enough noise, they'll go back, Chris.
So that's my question. So they're telling me they'll only go back 60 days, but it's been happening since June.
Yeah, but you have a certain level. Listen, it's whatever you agreed to in your agreement for your checking account.
I would think most checking accounts are probably 60 days.
I mean, if you think about it, that's pretty damn that's lax on your part. You know what I'm saying, man?
Yeah, I agree. It was there was random withdrawals over time that didn't really catch my eye until I saw the 4 and the 14 days of $80 when I opened up my account today. So that was so I really have no recourse. It's 60 days and that's it.
Unless they want to be nice, there's no hurt in asking.
Yeah, you can ask, but they don't have to. You are responsible somewhat. I would go after the people that are taking it if you can find out. The bank ought to cooperate with you on that.
Well, it was a Capital One. It said Capital One, but when I contacted Capital One, they said I don't have an account there. So they agreed that it was fraudulent activity, but I don't know how else we could find.
I wonder if someone was paying their credit card bill with his checking account.
Well, doesn't Cap One need to give it back then if they acknowledge if they're the ones that took it out, they should be the ones to put it back, not the bank.
Well, first of all, no, not necessarily. The bank's responsible to him for fraud on his account up to whatever policy on review of your own. But when it comes to the people who took it, yeah, they would be responsible if you prove to them it was fraud. If Capital One knows one of their customers committed fraud, but you just because you say it's fraud doesn't make it fraud. I mean, did Capital One say, yeah, it's clear one of our customers ripped you off? Is that what they said, Chris?
No, they said I don't have an account with them, so...
No, Chris, here's probably... Listen, this is probably
It doesn't matter if you have an account. Somebody withdrew money from Capital One. Is that right?
Yes.
Somebody paid their Capital One account.
Okay. Well, then one of their customers, will they let you know who the customer is so you can sue them in a John Doe if you served them? Tell them you want to sue for the money.
Banks aren't going to give them crap.
Well, actually, if he wanted to do something legal like that, if it was enough money, he could pierce through that. He could do a John Doe. He can have them served. I mean, why should they protect the guy? If there was one of their customers committing fraud, why would they protect him? I don't know if they would protect him. They don't have to give you the name necessarily unless you get a court order. But, I mean, I don't know how much this is. You might want to go back and find that out first. I'm Tom Martino. Don't forget SaferNet.com on the show if you have any questions. We have just a few on email I'll get to, and that's 303-713-TALK if you want to talk, or 303-MARTINO. Don't forget referralist.com for help, information, and referrals. We'll be right back with a lot more.
So I write as few checks as possible, boy.
Johnson's baby powder and
so
shower
they
shower
okay,
talcum products have been linked to ovarian cancer. In February and May 2016, Johnson & Johnson was ordered to pay $72 million.
Yeah, it's funny. Everything on a check is all you need to rob their bank account.
And probably some more. Probably have your driver's license number on there.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, like at least back in the day, like Walmart would write it on there.
Now today at 800-833-0112. You may be
If the
entitled.
bank sends out the check, because I do a lot of
Electronic banking? No, that should just go strictly, that should be.
What happened to your headphones
If they-
today? Did Mark
if they
borrow
send out
one?
the check-
Oh, they're
Yes.
sending an act, you have them actually sending a check?
I'm wearing it.
Sometimes if they don't have a connection with the automatic payment.
Oh, okay. Well, I imagine that physical check probably has that same routing and,
That's interesting. I had never thought about that.
But that's exactly what's happening, is someone is paying their Capital One bill with his checking.
But what's kind of funny is they did four $80 ones. Why would, because that to me jumps out.
Maybe they set it up for an automatic payment each month of $80. I mean, who knows?
I thought you said there's four in a row.
But that's exactly what mine comes through on my checking account when I pay my Capital One payment. And here's the issue: when you call Capital One, you got to figure they literally have millions of customers. So we're all assuming they have a way of simply searching this crazy database of every account and every bank account set up to pay. And I'm sure they do, but whoever answers the phone has no way of doing anything like that. We had a guy steal one of our checks, and it was like the worst counterfeit you've ever seen. It was the equivalent of getting a $100 bill and putting it into a Xerox machine. So they phonied up a check, printed it out, walked into one of our branches, cashed it. What was it, like $3,000, Tom? $4,000?
50 grand one of them was.
Whatever it was, they fucking cashed it. They cashed it, okay? And the guy, they leave, so we find out, and they're like, well, they put it right back in. They put it right back in, put the money back in. But they wouldn't tell us who it was, who cashed it, anything. They said, you know, that's between us and them because we just made you whole. We're not going to go after them. We're not going to get the police involved in anything.
Hold on.
It wasn't 50.
Hold on.
That one was like 5.
No, Mark, they were way more than you think. I think one was like 10 or 15. The other was like 50.
Whatever they were, they had cash at the bank, though, to cash them.
Yeah, they went to the bank that had no watermark, had no hologram. So what they did was they said, well, we're giving you provisional credit. I said, what does that mean? It sounds contemporary. They said, well, until investigation is complete. But they would never complete the investigation. The police called me and said they wouldn't cooperate. I raised holy hell. So finally, they simply confirmed from the bank footage that they were there. But the bank would not file a complaint.
They wouldn't, yeah.
So the police did it the DA did it on his own because they had enough evidence. Even though, so they were able to nab them, and they did nab them, but that was only at our insistence. The fucking bank didn't care.
Why would the bank not care?
Too much trouble.
Banks do not prosecute credit.
Then one of their employees has to go to court.
Unless you go and do millions
and they
of
know
dollars,
they're never going to get the money back.
You can easily steal, and they will not go after you. It is a crime that they will not go after. I had a credit card fraud. Somebody caught red-handed. Credit card company. Okay, the store, they didn't get ripped off because the credit card company paid them.
Right.
The consumer didn't get ripped off. They gave them credit. So it was the credit card company, and they said, we're not pursuing.
Credit card companies never touch it.
Never. They make so much money.
It takes more time to go to court and shit. Plus, they know even if they do go after, the guy might go to jail or something, which is unlikely nowadays. But most of the time, they don't even have the money to repay. So they're wasting resources.
How's that?
But I love that one where he's playing in front of all those kids and all the moms like him. He's doing his jingles, live concerts, and his brother is so mad because this son of a bitch just picks up.
He's lazy and
he doesn't do anything, and all of a sudden he's got $50,000 gigs each weekend.
Where was that?
It's 2.5, man. God, I love that shit.
Boy, but did it ever go down when what's his name came out?
I know, Kushner or whatever his name is. He didn't do good.
Well, yeah, they wanted the bad guy.
No, you can't read.
But he's not funny. The only role he plays good is being the dumb student.
The kid, yeah.
The kid.
Who stole my car or whatever, and that 70s show. But man, that guy, he went off the rails at the end, boy. He got AIDS, he was screwing porn stars.
The little kid?
No, Charlie.
Are you sure
he gave AIDS to...
Are you sure he got AIDS?
Yeah, he gave it to these two. I think he got sued for it.
He did. He gave it to, I think, another porn star. He was banging. What did he say? I got tiger's blood running through me. Tiger's blood.
I don't think he went off the deep end. I think he was always like that.
And who was the writer of that show? He's one of the hugest ones. The guy writes like every other show. He does Big Bang Theory. He does all of them.
Oh, yeah.
At the end, he's got the little things on the... So anyhow, he went after him while he's working for him. He blew the best deal ever. That fucking guy. That's how bad drugs will fuck you up.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Tiger's blood. I got tiger's blood in me. And he wasn't fucking around. He probably did. He probably injected some tiger blood in his crazy.
He was crazy, wasn't he?
His brother was funny as shit on there, too, though. Not his real brother, but his brother on the show.
Oh, you mean the chiropractor?
Yeah. God, I love that show.
That was a great combination of people.
It was great. Even for a while, the crazy woman that lived above that would jump over the back and just walk in. And his mother was the perfect mother. She was a realtor and just never gave the kid shit.
He was a songwriter, right?
Yeah.
Jingles, not jingles. Yeah, somebody's got to do it.
He was making so much
How did
money.
they kill him off? What happened?
God, how did they kill him off? Jeez, I don't remember. How did they kill Roseanne off this last time, where they kicked her off her own show? I always thought that was the funniest damn thing ever. They killed her, too, but how did they kill Charlie off?
I don't remember.
It must be like a car wreck, drunk, or an overdose.
Charlie's Angels?
No, 2.5 Men. How'd they kill Charlie?
Maybe he had a heart attack while he was screwing with his
Maybe.
The only problem with that show was the theme was so repetitive about Charlie hooking up with a beautiful woman.
That was it. He was a perfect, whatever you want to call him.
Yeah, but then, well, I'm saying, but Charlie was hooking up with a beautiful woman. His brother was kind of this nebbishy,
trying to hook up with a
sexually repressed guy. It was the same joke over and over.
I loved it. Seriously.
Martino, the troubleshooter.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. Welcome to the only show of its kind anywhere where we're solving problems, answering questions, taking complaints, and making your life just a little easier. This hour brought to you by RenewHomeInnovations.com. Renew Home Innovations. What does that mean? Renew Home Innovation means that they're going to do your bathroom. So think of the bathroom. And the thing I love about them is they concentrate on the shower, because that's really the area. They take out those old, ugly showers or ugly tubs and do brand new ones. And they do custom rectangle, beautiful showers. I emphasize this because it's a showpiece and it makes the bathroom. But they'll do the whole bath if you want. They have special visualization software, RenewHomeInnovations.com. No maintenance showers. They have low threshold, or no threshold, where you can walk right in, or if you have a walker or crutches or any kind of assistance device, you don't need those ugly walk-in tubs anymore. You can do these showers. RenewHomeInnovations.com, 303-904-2000. 904-2000. We got a comment on a Ford truck theft. Let me explain something. We get this call every now and then about fill in the blank is at a shop, something stolen from it, or it's stolen. If something is at a shop, no matter what it is, and a crime happens to the shop, unless it's an inside job, and you have to prove that, or unless the dealer did something stupid and negligent, and you'd have to prove that, then they're not responsible just because it happened. Joe has a comment on that. Go ahead, Joe.
Yeah, as far as the truck being locked, the dealership may have locked it. Those trucks are so easy to break into. I can break into it just about as fast as you can use a key.
And you don't
without
have
any
to break.
damage.
You don't have to break any glass or anything.
without any damage. I can get into one of those trucks just about as fast as you can use it.
Doesn't the alarm go off then?
If it has a security alarm, it would.
Now, what about, how would you do it? With the Slim Jim, that blade?
Yeah, a lockout kit. I'm a mechanic. I have a lockout kit. I've broken into a lot of those because me has locked the keys in their truck.
Well, that's good to know, because I was going to use that as a reason they're negligent if the damn thing was left open. Now, did you call him, Deputy Doc? Or did you call?
Well, here's the deal. Steve spoke to the general manager, whose name is Jeremy. I forget the last name.
It doesn't matter. Okay.
But he sat down with him, and apparently he was a little belligerent, the general manager. So Steve is going to give me the phone number, and I'm going to call the general manager and speak to him personally and find out what was said at the meeting.
Okay, well, why was he belligerent, for goodness sakes? I mean, I can see being indignant if you had nothing to do with it, and maybe the guy saying was insinuating you did, but... You know, here's what I don't understand. If 4 or 5 trucks were hit, did they notify the police and do a police report?
Again, as we've always said, there's 2 sides to the story.
Okay.
So we'll find out
and this is
from the general manager.
At Silter Ford. Okay.
You know, what do you think would happen? Forget if anything was stolen, but how about if it got vandalized? Whose insurance would cover that?
Well, Mark...
It's got care, custody, and control.
Right, but if you don't contribute to it, if it's in a lock, I would say if it's out on an open lot, if you promise someone it's going to be inside and it's not inside,
yeah, but no one promises that. I mean, generally.
All right. There are with
how about like a valet? They take your car, you're at Shanahan's or Del Frisco's, you go to get back in it, and someone keyed it.
They wouldn't be responsible under normal circumstances. No one's responsible for crime. And that's what it is. No one's responsible for crime unless they contribute to it or they did something to attract it. You know, it really does get tricky. It does, especially when it comes to the thing you talked about, damage on the lot. I mean, if they knew there were previous incidents?
Well, I can't imagine they'd be liable no matter who it is, because I always go back to my Walmart parking deal. I mean, my God, someone could walk through Walmart in key 50 cars in a matter of 2 minutes, and they wouldn't be liable for all that. There's no way.
But you're not giving them care, custody, and control. That's true. There's a bit more responsibility when you hand your keys over, but not necessarily any more. I mean, not much more. Eric, what's going on with your hot tub? Hello, Eric. What's happening?
Yeah, so we bought this hot tub last year, August 11th. It got delivered. And the control panel never worked for Zone 3, like the 3rd set of jets. And they were like, okay, we'll order the part for you.
It never worked from day one?
No, that zone didn't. They actually called the night before, said, hey, we might not be able to deliver this. The electronics aren't working. Then the owner called back, and he's like, hey, it's working fine. We'll deliver it. Well, it got there. Didn't work. And then, so we've got 61 attempts. We've tried to get...
Wait a minute. Eric, you've had this since August, and you still have a zone not working.
Yeah, and we can't keep the water clean because I think there's stuff growing in the pipes. So I'm...
What's the name?
Brand new.
What's the name of the place?
Clearwater Falls in Colorado Springs.
There's just no excuse for it, man. I mean...
I've got the owner on the phone. I've been super nice, but 61 attempts through text, emails. We have screenshots of everything.
So did they say they will fix it, and it just never gets around to it?
We actually have proof of them sending in the warranty thing to Strong Spas, who built it, to send the part of the warranty repair back on November 10th.
Wait a minute. You're saying Clearwater did the right thing, but the manufacturer's not following up?
Well, we think the part probably got delivered because they've gone through so many employees. They're like, we have...
I think Clearwater owes you the repair no matter what.
Or a refund if they can't repair it.
How much did you pay? How much you pay for this?
About $11,000.
God. Did you go to Clearwater directly? Not Clearwater, the manufacturer.
I've tried to contact them, and they said, well, it's got to go through your rep and all that stuff.
No, that's not a good answer.
It's just going to be generic Balboa parts anyhow. None of it's going to matter.
It's just the electronic panel. One of the buttons doesn't work.
Listen, you need to call the manufacturer, or we do, and tell them, no, we're not going through your agent because your agent is ignoring him. Or we'll call, let's start with a call to Clearwater. Listen, there is no excuse that you bought it in August and it's not operating properly. If there's no excuse.
You should have never taken possession of it when it wasn't working.
Well, he didn't know. He didn't know.
Well, once they drop it on their slab.
Yeah, I got you.
Then the next day it was hard to believe. Like,
hold on, we're going to give this to somebody. We're going to call this manufacturer. Honest to goodness, we're going to call Clearwater as well. And then we're going to follow this up.
Well, think of what he said about Clearwater. They actually called, said it wasn't working. Then the owner calls back and says it was, and it wasn't. He's a liar.
Well, we can prove that. Yeah, I mean, the guy, I think he wanted to just sell it to you figuring, listen, we're going to get rid of it. We've had a tough year, and then we'll worry about that thing. But look, there's no reason they shouldn't fix it. That's it. Hold on. We'll get somebody on it. We're on your side on this one 100%. This is ridiculous. Mike, you have an update on ADT. You said they just wouldn't cancel you. And I found that hard to believe. You were with them for years and years and years. By the way, don't say any bad words. Okay? You were very upset when you called the first time.
Yes, sir. I want to be in the studio with you. I won't cuss.
Okay.
This is going to happen. I'm on the back stretch, and I want to be in the studio with you. Marty took care of me. I didn't wait for 30 days. Yeah, so it was my fault. I didn't
wait,
know.
What do you mean what do you mean you didn't wait 30 days? What do you mean?
Well, it takes 30 days, Tom. It takes 30 days for them to cancel me or anybody. And I didn't know that. These morons couldn't tell me that on the phone,
Well, let's make sure they do cancel you, though, Mike. I want you to stay in touch, okay? And we'd love to have you in when we can have guests. We can have people from our referral list and all that, but I'm not sure when we can have regular common men again. We'll find out. SaferNet.com, by the way, is where you get the app. Somebody was asking. There is no phone number. You don't need one. Is there a phone number for support once you get the app?
Yeah, you can just go to SaferNet, and there's a location on there that gives you the customer service
But just download it first. 44 days free, okay? For as many devices as you want, 44 days free. Now, somebody wanted to know, what if you wanted to stop protection or pause it? Can you do that? I can tell you from an operator you can. You can pause it for 10 minutes, an hour, or whatever. And I have a feeling I know why they're asking that. I'll bet you they want to go to an adult website and they're afraid you're looking at it.
Exactly.
No, I'm serious.
All you have to do
All you have to do
is on the front of the app, you just hit pause protection.
But the problem is that's probably where they're going to get most of their viruses. I'm serious.
Exactly.
So we better just address it. Do you look at their history?
No, we don't keep track of any of
Seriously?
that. Absolutely nothing.
Okay, so there's no record anywhere of their search or anything they do.
They have their record.
They do.
We do not.
Okay, so people, you don't have to worry about that, because if you pause protection going into an adult website, I heard that those are the most dangerous sites.
Well, yeah, you get more viruses going into that world. Absolutely.
Yeah, exactly.
It is quite destructive.
So anyway, be careful, and especially if you're doing the dark web and all that kind of stuff. Don't think you have to pause it and keep it secret. They don't look at your stuff. Also, if your kids pause protection, you'll be notified as well. 303-713-8255. More coming right up.
For quality, 30 seconds.
Mark, I still have that. I have that update on
Lazara and Master. What? Lazara and Master. Yeah. Thank you.
Tom, I saw that update on the elevator thing with that.
Okay. I'll get right to it.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I know you've been trying.
That's okay.
No, you've been trying to, and I've been like.
Well, pretty much.
You know what's really crazy? The calls either all at once or none.
When it rains and pours, I've heard this before.
If you're looking for a loan, one of the lenders I highly endorse, you've heard it before, affordable interest mortgage. Why? Because you have choices. You have conventional, you have VA, you have jumbo loans, you have the liquid loan. I told you about the liquid loan, a line of credit. It's so cool to have a line of credit on your home you can use for anything you want, and then pay it down completely if you want. Have a zero balance, and if you need the money, take the money back. You don't have to think anymore. Should I pay my house off or not? You can pay it off if you want to or not. And then every dime you have in the bank counts against your average daily balance. You understand what that means? Over the year, when you pay bills, right, the money goes in, the money goes out. The money goes in, the money goes out. For the days the money is in, it's against your balance. It's if you owe that much less. Listen, find out more, all right? Affordable interest mortgage, AImortgage.net, 720-895-0500, 720-895-0500.
Man, if you ever find yourself in trouble in any way, any kind of criminal activity maybe you've done, maybe you're getting accused of, you have to have a good lawyer. Joseph A. Lazaire is the guy. We have known Joe for so long. I'm talking 10, 15 years. He has flat rate pricing on a lot of stuff too, like DUIs, but maybe it's assault, shoplifting, and it doesn't matter if you're guilty or innocent. You still need a great attorney. I want you to write this number down. We've already did the shopping for you, and when you do get in trouble, the last thing you want to do is try to shop for an attorney. You want one that's going to help you out. Joseph A. Lazaire, 303-429-6200, 303-429-6200. Now, I got to tell you about a business that does something that's remarkable. They give free estimates. I don't know anybody in this space that gives 100% free estimates. It's Master Rooter Plumbing. You have any issues with your plumbing. Maybe someone told you you needed a sewer line. Maybe you have a backed up drain. Maybe you have a broken pipe. Maybe something froze last year. Maybe you need a new bib on the outside of your house. Free estimates. I've used them personally numerous times. They put a sink in my garage and they ran hot water to it. I absolutely love it. You got to call these guys, 720-434-3406. They also own their own excavation company, and what that means is if you ever do need a sewer line, these guys can save you up to 50% from the competition. Simple as that. 720-434-3406. Write it down. Free estimates. Denver metro area. No hidden trip charges or anything. A plumber with great customer skills. 720-434-3406. I gotta be sitting at that fucking airport.
God, I hate sitting at the airport.
I'll go up to that stupid bar at the top.
There is nothing worse than sitting in there.
I know. It's like $10 for a beer. The worst ever, though, was during COVID, when all the restaurants in the damn airport were closed. Yeah, we flew a lot. We did a lot during COVID, man. It's probably why we ended up with it. I bet we were gone 8 weeks total last year, maybe 10 during COVID.
What's that, Mark?
I was just thinking of that long trip Suzanne and I took last year during COVID. That was a lot of fun, man. Vegas, and then Utah, then Colorado.
Oh, actually, you did it right before they shut Vegas down. So.
I've had so much fun.
Yeah.
I'll never forget. I was going cross country one time. We got caught and they shut down I-70 and I-80.
Oh, fudge.
Well, they shut it down. We were in California. We're coming home. So we had to stay there, but we're in luxury.
You just hit the Jenny and you're done.
Oh, my God. We had so much fun, but we had a little Dolce.
I bet there.
Was it a snowstorm? Is that why they said, hey, let us in? Why did they close it down, Tom?
Blizzard.
Probably
Accent? Was it the Olympic time?
It was a blizzard.
What year was that? There was some
and there were
truckers.
there were truckers everywhere. They were alongside the road, but we happened to get into a truck stop.
I bet it's one of those big spring storms, huh?
Yeah, man, I remember.
It was
exciting. It was really
yeah, we got 32. I remember 2 big ones.
Then I finally wouldn't wait anymore, and I took the back roads all the way home. Somehow I found with the GPS. Now, yeah, I started getting stir crazy. I waited a good full day and the next day, and I said, "Come on, man, this is not like we're on the moon." It was really.
Yeah, it's not like they don't get snow.
It was a bad.
70 and 80.
I remember finding a back way though, because we were up in Nebraska. No, not that way. Over this way. I forget, Montana or something, or no, wherever I-80 was up there.
Wyoming.
Yeah, maybe it was Wyoming. We came home some back fucking way, and it really worked.
Geez, I would never trust back roads with that snow like that.
You know, it was amazing.
Freeway should have been the
because
first
it was It wasn't that it was so snowed in. There were so many accidents after a day and a half. And it was just wrong. I mean, they just kept diverting traffic.
Job openings.
Terrible time, boy.
Administrative jobs. Find a location near
Did you have chains?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Did you ever have to put them on? Never. That fucking sounds like a nightmare.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713.
303-713-8255. Welcome to the show. Here to help you solve problems, answer questions, take your place. I want to tell you about Silverleaf Mortgage for reverse loans, silverleaf.com, 720-REVERSE. If you want a reverse loan, go with a reputable company, someone that will even help you if you need to get your house ready for appraisal. They have a nonprofit foundation to help with a grant if you're in need, or low interest or no interest. Silverleaf Mortgage, 720-REVERSE. All right, let's go to the phones and see what's going on with Deputy Doc. Deputy Doc, you said that person called about the apartment place. She was or what was she upset about, basically?
Well, Marcelino is a friend of the tenants.
And she's saying that really there was a terribly in disrepair, especially the elevator.
Right. Well, I called the number that was given. They had a phone tree. It went immediately to the maintenance director, who answered right away.
Good.
His name is Eddie, and this is what he told me, that he's been working there since 1999, and this is the first time that there's been a problem with getting the elevator serviced. He said over the weekend there was a problem with the answering service for the elevator company, and that it was just a glitch and it was a one-time event. And he said that they have a weekend number that people can call for emergency service. And he said, like I said, in 20 years, it's the first time the elevators were not repaired immediately. She also complained about the washing machine in the laundry room. And he said there's a number posted clearly for another company that handles washing machine and dryer issues, and that they don't handle it, but they have a number posted for the company that handles that. He sounded very reasonable. And
so he's saying there was something, yes, it did come up, it was a bad weekend, but they're working on it.
Right, and she complained there's no weekend service, and he said, we have a weekend emergency number that's available on the weekends, and that there's always somebody that can answer it.
Did you tell? I want them to keep an eye on it and let us know. That's probably true, but I know one thing, the call will help.
Yes, definitely.
No matter what. So, okay, let's talk to Ernie. Ernie, what's going on? Hello, Ernie.
Hey, Thomas. Thanks for taking my call.
Yes, sir. What can we do for you?
I just got a quick question. This, I've noticed the city is doing a replacement on the lead service lines.
Is that for water or sewer? For fresh water or sewer?
Water.
Yeah, because of the lead.
Service lines.
That's right, because of lead and stuff. So they're doing new service lines. But and what is your complaint about?
I'm not complaining. I'm just wondering if if there's been any whatever.
Well, I want to make sure that you're not getting Ernie. I want to make sure you're not getting defrauded. In other words, where did you get notice from the city itself?
The Denver Water, yes.
And they said they're going to be doing your service line, right?
Right.
Do they want money for it?
Not just doing mine. They're doing all.
I understand. Did they want you to pay anything?
They're saying it's not. I haven't talked to them personally, but they're supposed to come over this week, and I know they want me to sign a consentment.
Okay. First, we got to figure out if this is real or not. Can you send us
no, it's real. Denver's replacing
I know, but
thousands of lines.
I just want to make sure those people... Okay. Ernie, do you have a phone number to call?
Yes. I got the phone number here. They said call them.
What is it?
720.
Oh.
I want to know... 720.
601.
Yeah.
3209.
We just want to make sure it's a legit number, okay?
Mm-hmm.
That's the main thing. So when you call that number, do they answer the city of Denver?
I don't remember.
All right. Hold on. Suze, I just want to verify that number is really with the city. We don't have to keep Ernie on that much. 303-713-TALK. We have open lines now, 303-713-8255. We're talking to SaferNet as well. And SaferNet has 40, this is the most important part. You get to try for 44 days. Brad Hawkins with SaferNet's here. And that means that you can download it to your computer and be charged nothing for the protection to see how it works, or your cell phone. And does it have tracking at all? Do you know where your kid, if let's just say you do it and you have it on your kids' phones, you can track, you can limit time on the internet, you can limit all kinds of things, where they go, where they surf, or not limit them. Can you see where they're surfing if you want to?
Yes, as the administrator, you can go and take a look at their profile, see everywhere that they've surfed, and you can go in there and block specific locations that you may not want them to go. You have the ability to be able to set age limits so that you might be able to say, you know, I've got a 9 to a 12-year-old, and we have some preset restrictions there, but you can then go in there and modify that if you'd like.
So your older child can do more than your younger child.
Exactly.
Now, do you know geographically where they are based on that app?
Yep. All you have to do is go to that location in your control box and take a look at where they're
It'll tell you where the device is.
Yes.
Really?
Yep.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, and it works really well for families, obviously, but also if you're running a trucking company, it's kind of nice to be able to know where you're.
Right. We talk about it in terms of kids and all that, but it's really good for businesses to track their computer use, their laptop, their tablets, everything, their cell phones if they supply the cell phone. Now, on the other thing about the app, though, it can tell you where it is. Can you, for example, limit cell phone use itself, like not to be able to make calls or anything?
No, we don't have any control over the cellular part of the phone. We have control over anything that uses the internet.
Okay.
Now, if there is an app that is using the internet to make a phone call, then we can limit that as well.
Okay, if it's using the internet.
Correct.
But other than that, so when you say it limits the internet, that would be cellular internet as well, right?
Well, cellular is a different, it's not necessarily using the internet. Cellular is using the cell signal.
Okay.
The internet is receiving, you're getting internet onto your smartphone, and what we're doing is controlling the access to the internet.
But whether you're on cell or Wi-Fi, it controls the internet.
Exactly, yes,
All right.
yes.
All right, we have more coming up. 303-713-3255
with problems, questions, and complaints.
So guess how Charlie died?
Heart attack.
No.
Who's Charlie? Oh.
Drug overdose.
No. Watch out.
When he fell off, he died. He fell off a cliff or something?
No, he fell in subway tracks in Paris and was killed by a train.
Jeez, I wouldn't.
Then his body just exploded like a balloon full of meat. They said that at the funeral.
They killed him off really good.
Make sure he wasn't coming back.
And then he came back as he came back as
I don't think he ever came back. Oh no, they're going to say he came back as a dog or something like that.
I don't think this number is the city's.
Did you call it?
No, I just.
I'll call it right now.
Good.
It could be just.
No, I'm going to be doing a spot.
Okay, I'll go
doing a spot. 10 seconds. You have Paragon coming up.
Logistics and administrative jobs. Find a location near you at expresspros.com or on the Express Jobs app.
Simply Floors Inc. is a website. That's where you go to find Simply Floors. Now, Simply Floors Inc., INC, simplyfloorsinc.com, will get you to the finest people in floor covering, because that's really what it's all about, people. The installers, the salespeople, the people who do warranty service, all of the people you depend on to help you select it and to install it and then to get the most use out of it. What I mean is you can get floor coverings anywhere, so you really are shopping people. Simply Floors Inc. Simplyfloorsinc.com for the best experience and the best prices. Simplyfloorsinc.com. Not only do fairy tales have great endings, I'm going to tell you a great ending I dealt with. So my homeowner's insurance came out. I thought I had roof damage. They said, no, there's no damage. About a month goes by. I look over, my neighbor's getting a new roof. So I called up Matt at Paragon Services. Remember, my insurance company said, nope, not enough damage, can't do anything about it. Matt came out, he got involved. Not only did he get me a new roof on the main structure, but also on our barn. He got his new siding, new paint. He got some of the cement actually coated and fixed up. He got some of the boards that were from the deck replaced. He got me $70,000. 70, when my homeowner's insurance said 0. If you have any issues whatsoever with a commercial or home policy, call Matt. He can even open up a claim that's already been opened if it's within the last 2 years. 719-726-0020. Don't let the homeowner's insurance company tell you what's owed. You want Matt involved and he'll tell you what's owed. 719-726-0020.
Tom, that number is for one of the companies that's been hired by the city of Denver to replace the pipeline.
Okay, good.
And it's at no cost to the homeowner, and they are one of several contractors that the city's hired.
In fact, you can get a free water test from them.
From who?
The city. From lead pipes.
It's pretty bad, man. What are lead pipes good for, like 60 years or something?
No, it depends on the type of water that's going through there.
Well, Flint was real bad.
That's because they switched and they didn't realize they could have added stuff into the water to keep that from happening.
They just didn't know.
They were just the government workers.
They say that like they're not trying.
That's right.
Have you ever seen the pictures of that reservoir in California where they put 93 million black balls in the reservoir?
What did they do?
Well, apparently...
The shade balls?
What?
Or were there the shade balls?
Shade balls.
Yeah.
Apparently there was a chemical in the water that's harmless. But if it's exposed to sunlight, it turns into a poison. So what they decided to do, they put 93 million black shade balls.
And it worked?
Absolutely. It prevented the sun from getting into the reservoir.
Plus it made the water just a little bit cooler to drink. I love our water. Love it.
You marry it.
I did marry her.
It's almost as good as New York City water.
I invited you, but you didn't show. We exchanged vows. Do you water take Mark? And then what do they call that when you, after you get married, you let the relationship consummate? I just jumped into the aquifer.
There you go.
How would you like it if you used to be one of the royalties where people had to watch you consummate the marriage? Would that be a weird thing?
Some people pay for that.
I was going to say, I think they call that voyeurism.
I'm asking Mark if he would feel uncomfortable.
It would be strange.
But I guess in those days they had proved their virility. And then they look for blood on the sheets.
Jeez.
Is that what they do in the origamis? No.
Origami?
What the fuck is origamis? Aren't those things you make out of paper?
That's right. It was a joke.
It wasn't funny.
It went right over your
Nor does it make sense.
You make the Kama Sutra. Tom, you want me to get on the air and say about the water thing? Or just leave it go?
Which one is that?
The guy called up about the Denver water.
Ernie.
Yeah, of course they do.
Is the water good?
The water's great.
John Paul.
John Paul?
Who's this?
He was a runner.
No.
He was a runner. John Paul.
He was the Pope. The Pope didn't run.
Oh, I see. He wanted me to call him. I see.
John Paul. He's the one that, now let me ask you this. Was there 2 alarms at AM, PM? Was it the AM, PM?
No.
Huh? Was it the snooze?
No.
Was it the snooze?
Everybody thinks the snooze.
It was at 2 volumes, man.
No.
Separate volume for the alarm.
And the radio.
In the radio.
These guys are obsessed with Seinfeld.
It's separate volumes, man. Why separate volumes? Why? And then Elaine couldn't just, she wasn't cutting it.
And Kramer's clock went down.
Isn't that, no, the hot tub took out all building
No,
electricity.
he had the internal clock.
Oh, yeah, that always works.
But his hot tub, he was freezing.
My core. I can't get my core up, Jerry. You know what's funny about the hot tub? So if it's like, it doesn't really matter how hot it is. If you have the water 1 degree lower than your body temperature, it's not that bad, as long as the sun's not beating on you. You know what I'm saying? If it's 95 and you get in 98, it feels good.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Don't forget, home of the insurance checkup, Compass Insurance Group. You can usually save money if you have an insurance checkup. I do it every 3 years. You should do it at least every 3 years. And what they do is compare what you're paying with all the coverage out there. You could find out you have a great deal. A few years, they would tell Mark, you have a great deal, stay where you are. One time they said, no, we can save you money this time. They're totally honest about this. 303-996-9000. Welcome to the show. And do you have any other follow-ups?
Yeah, Tom, we got a call from Ernie about Denver replacing water pipes.
Yeah, and he had a number.
Right. I called that number. It was KR Construction, one of the companies that's been contracted by the City of Denver Water Supply to replace the pipes. Totally legitimate. It's going to be done at no cost to the consumer, and Ernie has nothing to be worried about.
All right. And do you have any other follow-ups?
No, I'm working.
You went on the elevator thing already. Okay.
I'm working on others.
All right. So, as I said, lines are open if you have to get through at 303-713-TALK. Now, Brad, with SaferNet, what happens when you have a firewall anyway? Does this in any way affect your firewall? Can it affect anything at all on your computer? Have you guys had any issues when people put the SaferNet app to run in the background? Is there anything that it can do to affect it?
No, the firewall is designed to protect the location, and our app is designed to take care of any device wherever it goes in the world. So so it's designed to be able to protect mobily, but of course it's going to work when you're home behind your own personal firewall.
Now, one thing that I did a speed test, and I told you this, and it's for real. I ran SaferNet on my laptop at home, and I ran the speed test without SaferNet, and I got a speed. Then I went and activated SaferNet and did it again and got a speed test. Then I looked at it and thought, that's odd. I'm going to do it again to make sure. I did it 3 times. When I had the background app SaferNet running, my speed was faster. That's a real truth. Why is that? If I have more overhead, why would my speed, even if it only affects it an infinitesimal amount, why did it show up faster? And it was much faster.
That's such a great question. And because logically, you're thinking, if we're running this all through a VPN, it should slow it down to some degree.
Right.
But what happens is that there is so much outside
trying to attack
you, trying to gather your information. They're doing everything they can to figure out a way to make a buck off of your technology.
There's millions of bots at any one time trying to get in.
Exactly.
Even if you don't see them. And millions and millions. So therefore, by shutting them out, your processor is not spending all that time, processing or whatever. No. All I know is it's faster.
Absolutely. There's a lot of gamers that will use ours because they're in a place where they can speed up their gaming while using the VPN.
It kind of is having a guy at the door taking care of stuff so you don't have to worry about it. What's going on, Sean? What's happening?
Hey, I just heard Doc's follow-up about the Denver water line replacement.
Yeah.
They've already done ours to our house, and they were fantastic. It was free, and there's not a better program out there. It would have cost us probably $10,000 to replace that line.
Wow. How old was your line, Sean? How old was it?
Unknown. The house is 120 years old.
So you definitely had lead probably, didn't you?
Yeah.
Wow.
And you do ultimately pay for that through your taxes and property taxes. We all pay for it.
Well, yeah, but it's not a direct capital.
Yeah,
you know,
no, I dig.
It's not a capital call or an assessment, which is really good. 303-713-TALK. Jason, what's going on with PayPal?
Hi, Tom.
Hey.
I had called in a couple of weeks ago, and you guys helped me. I had bought a turbo diesel engine off of PayPal or off of eBay. It was a BMW turbo diesel engine, and the seller had removed the turbochargers from the engine.
Yeah.
So I disputed the charge with PayPal. It took me a really long time to get it all worked out. When I called in, you guys were Marty was gonna help me out with it. And then as I started to compose the email, get all the information, PayPal had emailed me and said, hey, if you return this, the shipper will give you a refund.
Very cool.
So I did. Just want to give you an update.
I really appreciate that. So you really did then have good luck with PayPal, in other words.
Well, I had to sternly threaten to sue them for specific performance because they were not helping me resolve this as their marketing material says they would.
Wow. Wow. And they said, okay, we're going to take care of it. And they basically undid the deal for you.
Yes, I had to walk them through it and say, hey, your marketing material says this, and this is what has happened to me. I want you to take action because I'm not paying you another dime.
Hey, Jason, what line of work are you in? Because that's a systematic, well, that's a way to do it, by the way. And you didn't use anger. What line of work?
Well, no, we told him that.
I know, but what line of work are you in?
I'm a mechanic. Years ago, whenever you did the MS walk, I walked with you. We talked for a good long time.
Oh, cool.
This is probably 2009, 2008. Yeah,
good. Well,
ago.
good
But,
to
yeah, I'm a mechanic.
All right, man. Thank you, and I appreciate the follow-up for sure.
Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Express.
You cannot bring an attorney, correct?
That is correct.
What about the company?
They can request an attorney be present, generally only if they don't have like AT&T, Comcast. I'm trying to think of some of them that have done that. They can request to the judge because their corporate headquarters is outside of Colorado.
Right.
That they send an attorney in just for representation. It doesn't change the rules of anything, but they can ask, and then it's up to the judge.
And what if the judge says no? Then they
then they can't. Then they'll have to send a store manager or fly somebody out.
I did not read these ratings.
But I think almost always they do. And then you can also at that time do it.
See?
Oh, you can?
Yeah.
The heads are easy to swallow. They did not cut, period. That's right, goddammit!
What are you talking about?
I had the same affordable interest mortgage. You know how I feel about Kurt Rogers and affordable interest mortgage. They have the mortgages you need, the service you want. And the prices, of course, are always the best they can do because they're efficient. Affordable interest mortgage. What do you mean prices, Tom? People don't think there are prices. You know what? If you don't think there's a price involved in a loan, that's because you haven't looked at it. Not everyone charges the same thing. That's why they call it affordable interest mortgage, because he has low costs and optional service. I mean, not optional, exceptional service. Wouldn't that be funny? Anyway, Kurt Rogers probably laughing about that. Affordable interest mortgage, the jumbo loan, the FHA, the VA, and of course the liquid loan. All of them meant to serve you. And he's been in business the entire time I've been in Colorado. You can depend on AImortgage.net, affordable interest mortgage. Check out the liquid loan, that line of credit you can pay up and down at will. It's really a very convenient loan, probably the last loan you'll ever have. 720-895-0500. That's 720-895-0500. You know what? The other company that I'm going to talk about right now has been in Colorado and with me longer than me. I came here 40 years ago and met Henry, the founder of K&H Home Solutions. And that business has been around for 65 years. It was K&H Windows, and now they're K&H Home Solutions. Ted, I met him when he first took over the company back around 30-something years ago. Now, Ted's done work on my home. I've used them. I've used their warranties. You can depend on K&H home solutions for the best prices, but the best service, and for the warranties that really mean something. They're going to be around to handle those warranties. KHWindows.com. That's KHWindows.com to make your own appointment. Windows, siding, doors, and more. K&H has what you are looking for. 303-421-7100.
That doesn't even include the
Tommy, a guy called last week. I forgot to tell you. He said he called you in the 80s.
They have no idea.
Because a moving truck hit his deck. Do you remember that? And
I need to know a little more before I trigger
during the move,
I guarantee
the
it
moving
adds
truck
another
hits his deck on his
130,
house.
maybe 150.
And I guess the insurance
pretty sought
company
after
did
out there.
everything right
Did
for.
the deck fall down?
I guess, but it was just that he didn't have like lost wages and other stuff that you encouraged him to go after. I mean, all he had to do was drop your name and they.
Did he
I thought
call?
that
Is he here?
he called on a different reason last week. And I forgot to tell you about it.
So much fun.
That was in the 80s when Tom's name meant something.
And then this guy, his name is pronounced Promote.
But that dude was paying 2 mortgages. He was holding, I don't know what his mortgage on that was, probably $400,000 or $500,000. And then he had another $600,000-$700,000 mortgage. You know, he was probably paying,
I love that,
$4,000 to $5,000 a month in interest.
So our neighbor up there just, he's a...
People probably think I'm bullshitting sometimes because I use all these companies.
No, I don't think you can go on the air and say you use them if you didn't.
Well, no, I mean, not with a straight face, but man, I really not only use them, but love them.
Yeah.
I bet it's
I've had no problem with
They
anybody.
just told me on SaferNet since you can't see it working. You can't. I mean, I don't go to check who's attacking who's not.
Did you
But
see how
when I
many
did the speed test,
Trust me.
honest to God, there was a dramatic difference.
Yeah, so
And
here's
I still can't wrap my head around it. So I did it at my wife's, well, we have
no
key to
garage.
it. And her house happened at my house. Our houses both.
Yeah, you know why? Because per square foot,
it's
you never
weird.
just.
You should see. I just asked Brad.
What do you mean?
Where do they park?
In the 12 o'clock
They
hour.
park outside.
You can't believe how many attempts there were on his phone in half an hour.
He just did that.
It was amazing.
Can you imagine? I mean, live there full time.
But if he has 20 acres, he can build a
And
fucking
I'm quickly just tapping out a note
Can you
to
imagine
the salespeople, the higher up. Fix It, Sheridan, and K&H are the 3 so far, right?
It's crazy.
It is. So, and they live there full time, so that every time they go out.
Oh, you're right.
Clear
No, you're right. That's definitely one of them. Thank you. What else?
And they even had a mother-in-law house on the place with no garage.
So weird.
It is weird.
Carport.
No, I didn't say. He didn't say.
Not a giggle, not a laugh, not a tee.
And you're sure they're not as a it says lead. It says recorded live or
So
just
up
recorded.
around Breck, there's some shit that it's not going to be that, but I guarantee there's.
Yeah, I think that's one of schedule kind of things. Mike, that might happen by accident. That's okay, I guess.
Vail, not Aspen. Vail's got that beautiful golf course you can see right off the highway.
Oh, you mean the Vail Public Course?
And there's a shitload of huge ass homes off there. I think that's where Hetfield lives.
Hi, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255.
Paramod, is that the name? I don't want to be... is it Paramode? Hello?
Yeah, that is.
Paramode.
Right.
Paramode. How are you doing? How can we help you?
Good, how are you?
Good. Is it... I want to say your name correctly. I don't want to slaughter it. Is Pramod?
Yeah, that is right.
Okay, Pramod. What's going on with this AstroTurf?
Yeah, so my HOA needs the green on the front yards, and I tried to put sods and I tried seeding and all. Nothing worked. Finally...
When you say nothing works, what do you mean? What do you mean nothing works? Does it die?
Yeah. The grass dies because of the pine needles and all. So finally, HOA approved to put AstroTurf.
Yeah.
So I hired this guy on the Thumbtack. It's a company.
Yeah, okay. Listen, we have a lot of complaints from people who went on Thumbtack only because they don't really check people out like we do. Who did you hire?
So I hired this company called Compaction LNC.
Compaction?
Yeah.
compaction, landscape.
Atlantic. Okay.
Compaction landscape, Tom.
Landscape. Okay, tell me what they did. Did they do it wrong? Did you not like it? What's going on with it?
Yeah, it totally, like, first of all, like, when I had a communication with him, he gave me the sample. I submitted those samples to HOA. HOA approved it. And when this guy came for actual work, he first said, okay, the work is too much. As soon as he dig up, he removed the initial stuff. He said, okay, work is too much. There is too much of soil needs to be removed, and a bigger dumpster needs to be pulled in.
No, wait a minute. Pramod, you hired this company to do the artificial turf.
They had to get rid of the old sod that he put down that died.
Well, did they say, then they said there's too much work?
Soil.
Yeah, there is too much soil. He needs to take it off.
And that was going to add to the cost.
Yeah, so he said it's going to cost additional $900.
Okay, so you mean an extra 900, right?
Yeah, extra 900.
Got it.
And initially when he came to look at the job, he know what he's going to be doing.
I understand. It sounds like bait and switch is what you're saying. You're saying he knew what he was inheriting, and now a lot of companies do that, especially when a homeowner's group is involved, because once you get approved, it's like you don't want to stop it or go back and get another company and start from scratch. But this is very unfortunate.
What happened?
Yeah, did you end up paying the extra money?
No, I told him that, no, I'm not going to pay you extra, but...
what about, did you give him any money up front that you can't get back?
Yeah. Yes. So I paid him extra, initial installment, he said 50%, so I paid him $1,000. The job was decided to be like $2,000.
The whole job was going to be $2,000, and then he wanted to raise it to $2,900?
Yeah, that's right.
And he wanted to raise it to $900. Okay. So and how many square feet are we talking about?
It's 280.
I mean, the bottom line is they got to give him his money back. They didn't do any work. I mean, they're the ones that changed the agreement.
Did they strip out all the old turf? How much work did they do before you ended your company with them?
No, but the thing is that after...
How much work did they do before you decided you did not want them?
He didn't do any work. He just took off the topsoil, that's it.
Wait, hold on. Wait a minute. Pramod, do me a favor. You said he did no work, zero work. The lawn was exactly the way he found it.
Yeah, means initially for the work when he came in...
He did no work. Okay, if he did no work, you get a full refund. But you said something about he took off something.
Yeah, he just took off the plants which already had. He just took those plants off, filled in one bag, and then said, oh, this is too much work.
Plants. So he took a few plants out that filled up one bag. All right, we just, listen, we need to call this guy. Is he willing to give any money back at all?
No, but the thing is that after a lot of negotiation and all, he installed the turf.
Oh, my God, why are we, okay. All right, so wait a minute. He did install it after negotiation. So let's just get right to the problem now. What's going on?
So the turf what he installed is the lower quality. So he initially, the turf sample...
So the end job did not look like what he promised.
Yeah.
All right, hold on. And maybe, just hold on. We'll get to you, all right? We're going to have you on tomorrow morning. I'm Tom Martino. Don't forget SaferNet.com. Save all your problems for me.
So why are you calling? Well, because my dog doesn't want to pee on the new carpet.
You always put that cheap putting green stuff down.
This is ridiculous, guys. That was ridiculous. It came from an old putt-putt.
Yeah, that's right. Exactly. It came in like, some of them are like this.
If he comes in quick. Here. I like that.
You like what?
That built-in ice cube.
So do they go to the airport now?
Home, then the airport. Hang at the stupid airport for an hour and a half. I'm going to join the Harry Christians. Isn't that what they're called? The Harry Christians.
I love that. That's funny. That's what a little kid I knew called it.
The Harry Christians.
What's the Harry Christians?